All right, getting things together here, folks.
I say we're all patiently waiting for the feedback so that we can know where we're ready.
Let's see.
Can you hear me? Oh, there it is, feedback.
Now we're ready.
Right? Got to have the feedback, got to have that kind of stuff. That way, if people are wearing a good set of headphones and got them cranked up, they'll hate my ass. All right. Okay, I got the stream going. I got this going. Got the other phone going. Phone's not charging. There, now it's charging. All right. I'll play us a little track and I'll meet you all back here in a few minutes if you don't mind. Tweet out the space as per usual, folks. And we'll be right back.
Behind a curtain, something stirs uncertain. You feel yourself, feeling yourself, and now the train moves in. Let's go. The sound it makes a different wavelength, connects to the feeling, which is the intention. That booty is rocking. The reverberation got me talking crazy shit right now. All right. Let's go. I saw you lying there in the hammock, your butt quilted like a waffle, your tan lines implored me. I'm helpless in your presence. All right, let's go. Let's go, go. Let's go, go.
All aboard!
If I were you, I would think about climbing on board.
WX8BK, this is the Night Train. Time to climb on board. You heard the conductor. Find yourself a cozy place to be. Grab yourself a beverage of any type that you prefer. And we will get this train on the go. Opening track tonight was Let's Go by Fendel Mark, who is down here in our room with us. Thank you very much, Fendel, for creating that beautiful piece. I love it, especially the one part about your butt quilted on the. I don't know. It's a hilarious song. I love it so much. My name is Bits. I am one of your hosts this evening, and down there, the man who is back and better than before. He survived the COVID, Mr. One Wheel Willie. How you doing tonight, Mr. Willie?
Better, definitely better.
I could tell by all of your Twitter action.
Surviving.
That's good, buddy. It's good to hear from you.
Yeah, back's still killing me, but that's a different story.
That's a different story. That's just so you don't have to do housework. You just use that. Tell the wife. Tell the HR department.
No, because I can't even stand to like do printer stuff. So.
Oh man.
That's all right. I got Octoprint set up now, man. We're rocking and rolling.
There you go, buddy.
We're printing from all over the world.
Well, thank you to everybody who's popped into the room with us tonight to join us on the Night Train. We are here every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, interviewing artists about the art and the journey and anything else that comes up in between. This evening, we will be getting to our guest in just a little bit. Cats Will Eat You. I'm expecting it to be a really wonderful topic conversation, really interesting conversation. I don't know why I said topic. It should be really good, talking about 17 plus years of doing art every single day and some of the cool psychedelic stuff going on in the art pieces. Really stoked for it all. Next week, since we're here every Tuesday night at 9 p.m., next week we have TJ Hinos will be our guest. I guess that's how you say it, right? Hinos. Got to go in the Z in the end, the Z at the end, if you're American.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
That's close enough. That's how I say it.
That's right. That's the beautiful thing about talking with our guests is that, you know, they can correct us in whatever they want. I mean, we had to learn how to say dehiscence, right? We learned a little bit about a dehisced wound that night. We get educated on this show.
Gross. I'm still grossed out about that.
No, not gross. It was fabulous. It was fabulous. And she's in with us tonight. Thank you very much for popping in. You know, we got people all around the world that listen to us, and we definitely appreciate the folks that stay up late to come in and hang out here in the Night Train and enjoy our wonderful conversations that we do have. You know, I had a list of things to talk about, but I don't even have my book in front of me, so, you know, whatever. Just throw that out the frickin' window. That's off the top of my head, I guess. I was going to talk about the Venn token dropping. We got that happening. It's going to be happening soon. I think it already did. Already do? No, I don't think it's in the wallets yet. No,
it did not. Not till I think I saw in the Discord like the 15th, maybe.
Right. Okay. So
don't quote me on that, but I think probably not till at least the 15th. So a couple days for that still.
All right, right on. I farmed out some of my Tez because you can put your Tez in and lock it in for the Venn token.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I gotta do that.
Yeah, so it was just 10 Tez. I just dropped 10 Tez in there to be part of the community.
Yeah, that sounds like a good amount.
Right, get it in there, support the community, lock her in for 90 days, push that Venn token right to the top.
Just loaded a little up today, but I haven't transferred it yet, so
Nice.
that'd be a good place to lock some up there.
I have to load up some Tez for the first time in months and months and months. I am like basically at zero. I think I have 8 Tez left in tied up. But yeah, I was just about to say I have no Tez, but then I just looked and I have 8 Tez tied up for an offer or whatever it is there when you have it wrapped up or whatever the hell they call it. So I got 8 Tez. That's like, man, that could last like a year if you do it right on the old Tezos blockchain. Cool.
Yeah, if you're in there flipping every day.
Okay. All right, Willie, do a magic trick for us. I got to go grab my book. I got to go grab my book. So, or we could all just sit here in quiet silence.
So the SEC Twitter X account got hacked, and which is great. I just think that's just great, to begin with, and put out a fake post about the Bitcoin. Why am I blanking right now? I'm just so not ready today.
Because I put you on the spot. Because I put you on the spot.
Yeah, you put me on the spot.
Jerk.
the Bitcoin. The fuck is it called? I gotta bleep that out. Shit.
Did you say we gotta bleep that out? As if that's gonna happen.
Yeah, bleep that out.
Yeah, I'll get on that now.
Yeah. Go ahead and bleep that out.
Yeah, it's done.
Not mutual fund. It's like a mutual fund, anyways. But yeah, it's been trying to go through approval, and they tweeted out that said it was approved, and it was not because it has not been approved yet, and spiked Bitcoin for like 30 minutes or something like that, or like 30 seconds. it was a nice quick spike and then drop back down. But
Bitcoin.
still holding strong around 45, waiting for that approval. So
Cool.
good things for the entire blockchain communities there when when Papa Bitcoin leads the way.
There you go. 100%. Object released updated things there. They redid the website, which I'm kind of getting used to. I don't find it as easy to just jump on there and look at what I want to look at, but I'll get used to it just like anything else. I mean, fuck, I didn't like the layout of Twitter either, but here I am using it all the time now, right? What the hell is that? Can you hear that on your end? Or is that just me? Willie's ignoring me. Maybe it's Willie. I think it's Willie. Willie, are you down? Do we need to call somebody? All right, I'm just going to mute Willie for a second here. If I can... Oh, there we did it. Willie crashed out. Oh, well, we'll get him back in here. He's declined to co-host. He had to drop out of the space. So we won't. So let's talk about really important stuff while he's gone, and then when everybody comes back, we'll just pretend like we got to hold some information from Willie. We can't talk about the really cool things we were just talking about while he was gone. He'll pop back in here in a minute. Yeah, Object did the new launch. They revamped some things. I mean, obviously, for anybody that who's in the Tezos world that jumped on Object since they've done it, it's very, very different. It's taken a little getting used to. I've heard some complaints, but also I was in a space with Object when they launched it, and they are very aware and know about some of the issues, and they took down some notes, and they're definitely going to be fixing things. One thing that I really dig about the new launch that they've done is the getting kickbacks for people that curate and send out links. For example, if you, I think it's up to 25%. It's 2% up to 25%, I think. The artist can set the kickbacks to their collectors, or I guess their purchase. I don't know what you want to call it. Now my brain is blanking out. Willie has just passed that on to me. But I've been doing that myself. So all new pieces of art that come up, I share the link so that if somebody buys through the link, then WX8BK can get some kickbacks from that, which is a really great idea. I think it's going to really help push some sales for some of the artists. I think it's a really brilliant idea. If the artist doesn't set a percentage, I believe it's an automatic 2% that comes out of the 5% that Object is now taking from the listings. And we got Willie there? There's Willie. Hey, let's get Willie back in here. Invite the Willie to co-host. Unless he fell down a well. So yeah, I mean, they're working on it. They're making things better. For sure. You there, Willie?
Yeah. What were you talking about? The commissions or whatever?
Yeah, commissions. That's the damn word I was looking for.
Do you know how that works?
Yeah. So they can set it. The artist can set it from 5%, I believe, to 25%. I could be a little bit wrong on those percentages, but that's the gist of it. And then if the artist doesn't set a commission, it's 2%, and that comes out of the 5% that Object is now charging on the sales. So.
Oh, okay.
So, well, because Object they upped up to 5% just to kind of keep up with.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, they did do that, which is, I mean, in all fairness, I mean, you can't really argue that everything is more expensive these days, and you kind of just have to go with the flow of the world. But
greedflation, yeah,
right, exactly. So as I was just saying, like what I've been doing. So this morning I shared a few posts, and what I did is the link to the piece of art. For example, the brand new sexy collab piece that was listed this morning by Bill Knight's art, O'Ronan, and Fendel. I took that right at the top there. It has the little link so you can share it, and I've been sharing that so that if anybody buys through the link, then WX8BK wallet will get that little kickback from it.
Do you have to create a special link?
No, it's right there at the top of the page when you get in there. I'm just trying to get on here and take a look. Yeah, so when you're on there looking at the piece, just above the history and listings and offers, there's a little link that says share, earn 5% or whatever it's set at. And you just have to click that, get the link, and then go that route. I mean, for folks like us here, for WX8BK, I mean, it's great. I mean, we share people's art all the time. And if people click on that link and go through and do it that way, I mean, it's great for us, right? A little bit of Tez here and there. I mean, it all adds up in the end.
Yeah.
So.
And I didn't know that's how it worked. For some reason, I don't know the way that because Retro Manny was trying to explain it to me just in a tweet, and the way I was reading it from him, but not that he was wrong in his explanation is like I was thinking like you had to like go in and like create a collection and then like sell it out of your wallet, and then you get like an extra.
Yeah, no,
So
it just has to be through. It just has to be through that link, which is a really cool idea. I mean, I was pretty pumped about it. See, I was very confused about it. A lot of people, I think, were confused by a lot of the stuff, but I was in the space last week that Object hosted and got the lowdown right from them, and people were asking. Actually, Xerox popped up and asked a bunch of really great questions, and it cleared everything up quite well for me. I'm really down with that. I'm really down with the commissions thing. I think that's really damn cool. And there's the potential there.
Okay, so if I just hit share.
So if you hit share, it'll come up with a little link.
Copy that link?
Yeah, and then you got to copy that link and throw it in your tweet or whatever. The only thing that I thought was kind of, I guess nobody will really know when they're clicking on the link anyways, because you're going to end up at the real object page anyways. But it's just another one of those links to click where everybody's always worried about clicking on links and then connecting their wallets and stuff. But I guess it goes to the object page. So.
Yeah, it's kind of like an Amazon creator or not creator link, but like a share link where you don't really realize that they're making a commission off of that sale. Of the product, whatever it is.
Yeah, I like it. I dig it. I also do dig this brand new piece this collab between O'Ronan Fendel and Bill Knight, and I just realized I haven't bought it yet. I thought I did already. I better get on that, man. I think there was.
So like if somebody were to buy the Greg from Pop Lazarus that I just posted below in the in the space link here, if somebody were to buy that from this link, then I would get a kickback. I like this.
Well, no. Is it listed on that one? Because I didn't know that it was retroactive with older listings. Is it on that one? I guess if it's
I don't know. I don't know.
I guess if it's there.
It didn't say. It just said share. So I don't know.
Oh,
we're learning. We're learning.
We'll figure it out. I thought it was all with just new listings. So, but I guess we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Anyways, good segue. Anyways, because P Laz is down there, and we're giving away a Greg piece, or he's giving away a Greg piece, or we, or he, or what's going on there?
Well, I mean but I guess we're kind of running it. I don't know. Let's pick him up.
All right. See if he's got a microphone.
See what he wants to do. I figure we just do our standard. We'll take some snapshots throughout the show and some random snappies, and then we'll do a random name tomorrow. Right. That's what I thought.
Let's bring him up here for a minute, and we'll get to our guest of honor very, 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 very shortly.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Hey!
Hey, buddy.
Great to hear from you guys, and also great to hear some of those updates about the object page, because me being someone who's not so much in the know, I'm just kind of like looking at it as like a cranky old granddad, just like, why'd they change?
Right?
Yeah, it's kind of clunky, I feel, but there's definitely a lot of improvement as far as like what is there and like what like it's just harder to get to the information. But I feel like there's definitely more information, there's more features, but I feel like the interface is a little clunkier.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I was
so far.
They're getting somewhere good, so All right, so I just picked up my pinned tweet on the Jumbotron here, and basically this is a piece that I'm going to be releasing next week, and it's a Tez Pole Festivus style piece. It's got Frank Costanza on there. If you're familiar with Seinfeld, Costanza created a holiday
December 23rd.
December 23rd, Festivus, in protest. I I think there was this one time that he was trying to get a present for George, and there was like one of the action figures left, and he went to grab it at the same time this other guy tried to grab it, and he had this big fight. And after that, he was like, "You know what? I'm not doing Christmas anymore. We're doing Festivus." And anyway, so that's kind of like what inspired. And
That's also the plot of Jingle All the Way, the Arnold Schwarzenegger vehicle.
oh yeah, and that's another great holiday movie. I've always thought that Arnold Schwarzenegger was kind of an underrated actor. I always felt like he was so hilarious in Twins with
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito, and also in Junior.
Oh yeah, I think he's great, but we're getting off track here. Let's try to stay on.
He'll be back.
All right. But anyway, one of the ways that you can get that piece that I'm releasing is by burning a Greg. And that is the piece that One Wheel Willie had put up. And I actually have an edition that I'm going to be raffling off today. So I have taken, let's see, everybody's name that's in the space. Oh, Meat Block just showed up, so I'm going to add you to the list. Got in just in time. So yeah, I'm just putting all the names on the wheel of names here, and I will spin it, and we'll find out who ends up winning the Greg.
Spin, spin, spin that circle. Everybody loves a good wheel spin.
It's spinning so fast, but it's slowing down. Yeah.
Spinning that wheel. Nothing like spinning a wheel when you can't see it.
Yeah, I kind of have to narrate everything. All right. And it stopped on Meat Block.
Oh, Block Chug gets it right in the second. Wow.
Yeah, super amazing. Just like slid in right at the last second, got on the list, and won.
Get some applause in there. Right on.
Right on. Well, Block's always in here. He's always supporting us, so you know.
Yep.
We appreciate that.
Absolutely. That's decent.
Yeah.
Right?
So, Meat Block, I will follow you, and then if you can send me a DM of your address, I will send you Greg.
Dope. And then he can burn it and get in on the wheel if he wants for next week. And next week we will be doing that wheel next week on the space at the beginning to get, because how's that going now? You're going 3 editions are going to be free. Is that how it is? What you just want to give us a quick rundown of how you're breaking up the editions?
Yeah. So let me pull up the form here real quick so I don't say the wrong thing. So yeah, it's like 1 to 3 are going to be free, and then I'm going to have 3 to 5 editions for 4 TES, and then 3 to 10 for 6 TES. And for people that don't win on the wheel, I was thinking I'd probably put like 4 or 5 out there on the public marketplace for 10 TES.
Cool. There we go. And that'll be dope. And like we said, next week we're going to do that wheel live here on the space. And that'll be really awesome. And just for anybody that's interested, take a look at the pieces. Check out Pop Lazarus's stuff. Really, really cool stuff going on there. And these pieces are animated as well.
And make sure you have your sound on.
And make sure you have your sound on. Absolutely. Hells yeah. Well, thanks, man. Thanks for coming up and doing that. Appreciate that very much.
Heck yeah, and thanks for putting me on here last minute. And yeah, it's always enjoyable to hang out with you guys.
Yeah, it was good to hear. Good to hear your voice.
We tell everybody that if they have something that they want to promote like that they're always welcome. But you're the only one that ever takes us up on it. So
that's true.
Hey,
he knows a good thing.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Heck yeah, and I'm definitely looking forward to hearing from Cats Will Eat You here soon. I hadn't heard of you before today, but I was like looking on your Twitter and stuff, and have been very impressed with some of your digital art. So can't wait to hear about it.
I'm excited too. Cool, man. All right, thank you very much, P-Laz, and congratulations to Meat Block Chung down there on winning that. That's really dope. All right, we got all that out of the way. Do we have anything else we need to touch on base before we get into the nitty gritty there, Willie?
Oh, that's all I had. Let's that sounds like a good transition.
All right.
Bring our guest up.
Absolutely. Just wanted to give a little shout out in the room here. Got a good room going on tonight. Thank you very much for everybody coming out to visit us. Pop Lazarus, Dehiscence, Paul Who's a Ghost, Humans of the Universe, Fendel de la Creme, Jay, Meat Block, Sister Sage, thank you as always. And Carrie Ross just popped in here. Thank you very much. Gave us a follow today, or yesterday possibly. Very, very happy to have you in here as well. Happy for everybody to be in here. We all know that everybody's time is valuable out in the real world, and if you're willing to come in here and hang out with us for a little bit, it means the world to us. Big time. We got cats. All right. Well, I think it's time to kick it into gear. This is now time to get into the really nitty-gritty part of our whole space. This is where we put somebody up on a pedestal and we try to knock them down. No, just kidding. I'd like to welcome up to the stage. You can unmute yourself. Our guest of honor tonight is Cats Will Eat You. Welcome up.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Can you hear me okay?
Absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, thank you very much for coming on the space. I do believe we got put in touch with you by Paul Who is a Ghost.
That's right.
So, yeah, and honestly and truly, up until Paul had mentioned you a little while back, I had never come across you as well. It still blows me away how many times I can, we can see an artist and go, well, how come I've never seen this damn person before? This is cool shit. Like, why hasn't this been on my radar? Yeah. I don't know. Fucking algorithm.
I'm under the radar, so that's okay.
All right. Well, not anymore.
Happens all the time.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
You're on the night train. You're right out there for everybody. Thank you.
Nice.
So if you don't mind, just to start off, if you want to just give yourself a little bit of an introduction, if you don't mind.
Yeah. I'm Cats Will Eat You. My name's Matt. I'm from Minnesota. I started. I grew up an artist. I was very interested in art as a kid, like most artists, and studied. I had a very rural upbringing, and my parents hated art, or not really hated art, but they didn't really recommend it, and so we kind of avoided it. And they sent me off to college for computer science, and then computer science was in the same building as the art program of the college I went to in Winona, Minnesota.
Did you sneak some classes in underneath your parent? Were they checking your schedule, and you're like, no, it's all in the CS building, Mom and Dad.
Right. Yeah, it was kind of like I was sitting there in the programming classes watching kids carry canvases by. It was just driving me nuts, and I found they had a graphic design program, so I kind of weaseled my way in that way, and it was kind of sort of a middle ground between computer science and art. And then
how am I gonna become a full stack developer, Mom, if I can't, if I'm not doing graphic design too?
Yeah, I gotta do a little bit of painting.
Yeah.
and I've always been super prolific just naturally, and right after college I decided I was gonna start a site where I posted a piece of art every single day, and I would just do that as long as I could, because I wanted to have this huge sort of web of work that people could dig through and kind of find different eras of my work, or different I was just always fascinated by artists' sketchbooks, essentially, and their whole seeing the whole process of as they develop different styles, and so I've always wanted that, and I built that. I started in December of 2006, and so I just passed 17 years of posting something every single day. I haven't missed a day yet somehow. And there's been many different sort of styles and mediums in between all of that.
That is wild. Okay, we're going to definitely talk a little bit more about that in just a few seconds for
Yeah.
sure. But so back when you were a kid, what sorts of things were you doing? What kind of artsy stuff? Were you just you're talking crayons and stuff like that, or what was your favorite thing to deal with when you were a kid?
I mean, when I was a kid, it was probably I remember going to school and just seeing like, I remember vividly being in first grade and seeing like one kid that could draw better than everybody else in the class, and it drove like it just.
We hate that
I
kid.
I thought it was so cool, you know, and I went home and I started drawing every night, and you know, by the next year I was that kid. You know, I just saw like the instant payoff, and then I was you know, I was probably like drawing like Mario and like Ninja Turtles, like all sorts of like video game characters, comic book characters, you know, whatever I could sort of get my hands on that looked like I could mimic. But then we were kind of like just sheltered from real art in rural Wisconsin. But I remember like at my grandma's house, she had a magazine that had a centerfold that had Picasso's like a giant Picasso painting in it, and I would stare at that thing for hours. Like every week I would just go straight to that and look at it again because it was so different from all the art I experienced. And that was kind of like when I started to really desire to like be to draw things differently than they appeared.
That's funny, and then your parents are pounding on the bathroom door. What are you doing in there? Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, I was always like drawing on the back of my homework. Always like, just couldn't stop drawing really.
Oh, cool. So you said you're in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Is that like you see all?
I mean,
you getting
Twin Cities.
You getting bombed out there with the cold shit weather right now?
No, we've got a bizarre. It's supposed to get cold next week. Yeah, but we've got a very bizarre winter. We have no snow.
That's crazy. We had the warmest. We had the warmest December. Yeah, we had the warmest December here last month, and we are currently dropping fucking super hard right now. It's not. I don't even want to talk about it. It's gonna be fucking cold up here. Anyways. So when you're with your parents, like they were always just kind of like a lot of parents were, you can't make money at art. You're going to be a starving artist. Is that what they were always saying to you?
Totally. Yeah. It's really, they're just, it's not that they're not supportive. They're just like super practical people. Mm-hmm. Like they're very like, you got to make money. You know, like I was from like Jackson County, Wisconsin, which is like the poorest county in the whole state. There's like a prison and a casino, and that's like the industry. So there's really not a lot of jobs around, and so I think you're sure as shit not going to make money selling art there,
right?
And so I think it was really more of like looking out for me than not liking the art.
Like good parents should.
Right.
And like a good child, you were like, no, fuck this. I'm going to do this now. You guys don't want me to do it. I'm going to do it hard.
Yeah.
Right on. Cool. So even in high school, obviously in school you had to have art classes, right? So, they couldn't tell you that you couldn't take those classes. So you did.
Yeah, I ran out. Again, it was like a very poor rural school, so I ran out of art classes in like the first 2 years, and then it was kind of all like independent study of art. Like I went through art 1 through 4 in the first 2 years, and then there was no sort of opportunities after that. I got to like jump into like a little like 3D with it would have been like AutoCAD back then, and maybe a very early version of 3D Studio Max or something.
Right. I remember that.
And like some Photoshop stuff, some early digital art would have been like Photoshop 2 or 3.
With a hacked version of Photoshop, right? Of course. Nobody ever bought Photoshop. It's amazing Photoshop's even it was even still around, man. Everybody had a Wares version of it.
That's why they were one of the first to move to a subscription model. They practically invented the subscription model.
That's fair enough.
For sure. Yep.
I think Oracle actually did with some of their hardware pieces, but that's another story.
I remember when I went to college and the kids in the design program were like buying the software, I was like, what? What do you guys? You're the first people I knew that could afford this.
Yeah, you give money to buy Photoshop?
Like, that's crazy. You know it's for free, right?
Could you imagine how many discs? You imagine how many discs would have been in Photoshop if you bought it too? Like back in the day, man, it would have taken you forever to load that stuff on.
Yeah.
Probably would have ran a little better though, but yeah, it's very interesting that you said that you ran out of art classes, because when I was in high school, in grade 12, the art teacher created 2 art classes for me, because I had done the same thing where I'd like eaten up all the art classes. So, that's kind of cool to hear that I'm not the only nerd that did that.
Yeah.
Of course, my parents are like, "Well, why aren't you that good at math?" Well, because it's not fun. Geometry, I guess. Geometry is pretty cool. Cool. So I lost my train of thought. Wow. That's all right. Willie did that earlier. Now it was my turn to lose my train of thought. So in university, you started taking hold, and then you got in doing your thing. So once you finished, did you just go hardcore right into art?
Yeah, well, I did finish a graphic design program. So then, I started, right away working as a designer, and then like teaching myself sort of animation, and, at night, and working on my art at night. But yeah, I started, showing art, around. I was in Winona, Minnesota then, so I would like, try to get art up at all the venues I could in town, and then I stuck around for like 3 years after I graduated, and then me and my wife, it was then girlfriend, moved up to the Twin Cities, and then I kind of continued working as a designer, and now I've like do like animation, motion graphics stuff for day job, and then at night continue my passions.
Well, that's really cool. It's got to be pretty inspiring, though. At least you're kind of in the same realm with your day job, right?
Right.
Being that
Yeah.
kind of creative. So that's cool. That's very, very cool. What? Sorry, dying on this end. Jesus. Damn it! I fucking forgot. We're really running a professional space tonight, Will.
Yeah, I think. So I kind of missed a little bit of that. Like, so after college, I really wanted to go. I wanted to stay in college forever, and so I wanted to become a teacher, like an art teacher in college. And so I like applied to like a whole bunch of like MFA programs, and I was just like, I was just rejected, mainly because I work, like everybody told me I was just working in too many styles at the same time, and they all wanted like, find your one thing and stick to it. And so I ended up, while I was working up here in the cities, I found like an architecture school that accepted me, and I was like, okay, I'll just go and study architecture instead then, if I can't get in for painting or drawing, in a MFA program. And so I got my master's of architecture while I was like still working in animation and motion. But then I decided, like, I just love the art so much that I didn't pursue a career in architecture, and I still like, I just kind of like applied all that knowledge to 3D.
There's aspiring architects around the world going, fuck you, dude.
Right.
You got a master's in architecture and didn't continue.
Right. Yeah. Well, it was like all my, like, I was watching like my professors were, also working architects, and they're working on like industrial buildings, kind of like counting out 10 bathroom stalls, like really,
Yeah,
like, Sort of like
it's not the glamour that when you say architecture that people think it is. You know,
yeah. I really
like
want it
it's
to be like a Frank Lloyd Wright or Frank Gehry or something.
well, I
And
mean, everybody who goes in architecture does, though. You know,
yeah,
like that's why you get inspired to be like, oh, I want to be an architect. But then somewhere down the line, a lot of people will venture off that because they're like, oh, well, I just get to design shitty square buildings all day and like, yeah, like you said, count bathrooms. Like that's not
yeah,
fun. I don't want to do that.
yeah, um, and I had I had been working like a shitty job at like a commercial real estate company, and like working with architects there too, and like just I kind of saw the writing on the wall. I was like, I don't really know if I want to do architecture. But then I kind of slid my way into motion graphics and animation for a baseball team, and I was having a lot of fun with it. And so I just decided like, oh, I'm just gonna keep working in animation, motion, creative work instead of fully diving into architecture.
So had that for the
Yeah.
baseball team. So how was that? What were you doing? Were you like talking about things that like on the jumbotron, or was it like for commercials or something?
Yeah, I'm still there now. I've been there for 13
Oh,
years.
that's dope.
Yeah, I do.
Are you with the twins?
Yep.
Shut up. That's awesome.
Yeah. I do jumbotron stuff. I do our television spots. Social media videos, like all sorts of like content work, creative work.
So is that like an only in season job? Like, do you have another
No,
job that you do the rest of the year? Or?
no, it's year round. Like right now we're like planning for our winter fan fest stuff. We're like, getting kind of our game plan for capturing stuff in spring training, which is already like
Do you do you
almost
do
it's like a month
do you
away.
do you work like for the stadium too? So like if a concert comes in, like you do stuff for that kind of thing too, or
Um, Sometimes I've tried to push most of that away, just because there's plenty of baseball work. But yeah,
Gotcha.
sometimes. So yeah,
That's pretty cool because I mean you think about it in even just like Major League Baseball or whatever. I mean there's only so many people that do that. Like that's a pretty elite kind of niche to be in. I think that's really badass. And, that'd be cool. I'm gonna go to the stadium now. Go, yeah, I know the guy did that.
yeah. Come to a game. Let me know.
Right? Unfortunately, I find baseball really dry.
oh, I love baseball. We're getting ready to start little league again. I'm stoked.
Yeah, us too. Yeah.
Willie, I think you're a little bit old for Little League, buddy.
I know, but my kids are just the right age, so I'm excited.
Willie out there rushing the bases, smashing little kids off.
What can I say? I love sunflower seeds. I don't know.
Yeah, everybody loves it. That's great. The most addictive thing out there is sunflower seeds, I think. Oh, that is really cool. That's really cool. I love finding we love finding out these little tidbits of information from our guests. Where you just like, wow, blow me away.
Yeah, it's a whole nother life outside of my art.
Do you ever bring your personal art into some of the on-field animations at all?
You can definitely see the influence. If you were in the ballpark, you would probably recognize some of it, but like a lot of it is just like I've picked up a trick, because that's one of the nice things about like doing art every day is like I'm learning new shit all the time. So there's tricks that I've picked up that I'll apply to my work, and kind of vice versa sometimes too. But like it's funny too, like in first uh, the first NFT bull run too, like they really like latched on to me for like I became like the company expert, and they wanted like we created a relationship with like Candy, and they like we launched some NFTs for the Twins there. We built like a metaverse. I got involved in like applying like architecture there and stuff too. It was that was like the moment where I was like, these worlds are colliding a little bit too much. I don't know how comfortable I am with that.
Yeah. Cool to like kind of use some of that architecture background though to like design, like scrap all the actual structural engineering part and like actually design like virtual world type buildings and things like
yes,
that's
100%.
where you can really flex, the artistic and the design side of it and not have to worry about, well, is this roof pitch gonna hold because it's too long, or things like that.
Yeah, stuff can just float. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
So I imagine that'd be a lot of fun.
I just gotta step away for a second here. I gotta go let the dog out. Right
Yeah,
in the
I
middle of the
imagine.
interview.
I imagine like a lot of your stuff is like the people are like simplistic, like not stick figure, but like outline. So I imagine you could really easily bring that to some on-field animation and not have it really be recognizable.
Right. It's a lot of like the more of like kind of a lot of like glitchiness and stuff and sort of like psychedelic colors that I'll bring in, and like people will see it, sometimes at work too, they'll be like, that's a little bit too far out there for us, but I always like to push the boundary a little.
That's cool.
But all the fans that do acid are just getting a kick out of it.
Right,
all three of them.
Yeah. It's only the players.
Oh, that's why you guys can't make a playoff. Oh,
Hey, we did. We killed it last year, dude.
I know. I got to get some digs in there though.
I can't make any comments because I know nothing about MLB.
Yeah.
Nothing. Although the one thing about baseball that really blows me away is like, who the hell are these people that get to go watch these frickin' games at 1 in the afternoon? They just get to fuck off from work and go hang out and watch baseball. It's the same damn people that get to golf during the day too, right?
Well, nowadays that's mostly just Chicago Cubs fans, and they don't have jobs to begin with, so.
Wow.
They're really the only ones who have like day games in the middle of the week anymore.
Willie's trying to alienate everybody. It's like people are dropping out of the space. That's it. We're out of here.
No.
Yeah,
if you have disposable income and you're collecting NFTs, you're most likely, and you're from Chicago, you're most likely a White Sox fan. That's just the facts.
Facts.
I didn't make the rules. I didn't segregate the town. I don't even live there. I just know the histories.
You don't. You live in the desert. Willie in the desert. So the 17 years of continually popping out art every day. So this was like, I mean, obviously I haven't looked at everything, but is this something that you like call in every once in a while? You're like, I'm just going to like do this, whatever. Or is it like a genuine hardcore every day you produce a piece? Or do you have like a bucket full of pieces that you like maybe pull out some extras every once in a while when you don't feel like doing anything?
I don't have like a backup plan pieces at all.
Okay.
I like if I'm going on like a big vacation or something, I might kind of get a head start on some stuff, but 99% of the time it's a piece that I'm finishing that day. And I genuinely like, I try my hardest. There's days where like, I would say the only time I really would try to like phone one in is if I'm sick or there's like family emergency stuff. Like I've been married. I had kids born during this streak. I've had death in my family. And though there are days that are tough, but in general, like I almost always look forward to it. Like I haven't drawn anything today yet, and I'm looking forward to it. And I have no thought of what I'm going to make, but it's like,
cool.
That's kind of exciting for me now.
So,
I would say like the first couple of years, it was like stressful. for me. But
do you
now
cut yourself off at midnight? Like how do you judge that streak? If you say you haven't drawn anything today and like it's kind of late in the day,
right?
you know,
No,
like are you gonna be like, shit, I better draw something while I'm talking to you guys here real quick?
no. My cutoff would be midnight tomorrow. Like that's like my rule for it. Like it like so I'll finish before I go to sleep, but it might be like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And then that is the post for tomorrow. And if that's kind of always the rule, like I'm making the piece for the next day. So like
Oh, okay.
like today's piece is done, I guess. But then I'm working one day. That's like, I don't know, like I started my streak before Beeple did. He's got a weird like rule where he needs to be done by midnight, but that was like the rule that he set up for himself. And I don't know, like I
didn't even know he was working on a streak. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, I never heard of him.
Yeah.
I've heard of him, but like I really don't care that much for him. So whatever.
Yeah.
So with the art pieces now, so that's like over 6,000 pieces of art.
Right.
Is that, are those pieces included in what you're doing with like your NFTs and stuff like that, or these are above and beyond everything else that you put out?
No, yeah, I would say that these are included.
Okay, okay.
You know, like I've probably only minted like 1% of my work. Like the first 3 or 4 years of this project was mostly physical stuff. So at the end of the night, I'm like scanning it in or taking photos and then uploading it. Then we just started running out of physical space in my life. So I kind of decided to go focus on digital mainly because of that. I've always like sort of preferred physical, tangible things, and like I still mix quite a bit back and forth between physical and digital, but I'm not working on like a ton of large scale physical stuff anymore.
Well, you got an architect background. Can't you just design a house to live in that has more walls? I mean, it's that's the way to go, right?
Yeah.
one of those crazy golf ball houses that has like
Yep.
500 sides.
Yeah, and I do like some of the like when 01 launched, I felt a little weird. Like I totally love their platform, but it felt a little weird like giving away my daily pieces. So I did a few just to, like as I was like learning about the platform, but then I kind of switched to like no, I'm gonna make these like sort of above and beyond pieces that aren't part of my daily thing, and maybe like make some commentary about like the platform and like the situation itself instead. And so there are some pieces that I'll kind of like go outside of my daily streak. And then I also do like I have a little snail mail Patreon cult where I send out like there's people that pay a monthly fee and I give them like a hand-drawn postcard, and that's also like it's like a little watercolor painting that I make for them, and that's not part of the daily streak either. And then some of my pieces, I should have said this earlier, some of my pieces I do work on for like a week straight, and then like I'll like do like an hour or two on them a night, and then I'll quickly do something else for the daily streak. And then those like those more sort of developed pieces are like the ones that I like price higher and like feel stronger about.
Cool. Oh man, I was just clicking around on your website here. I got into these art pieces for sale here, and you got like these little 3x3-inch acrylic paintings. Those are that's cool.
yeah. Those have like augmented reality to them too.
3x3. That's the size of our stickers.
Yeah.
That's tiny.
Yeah,
dude, it's sitting on a little tiny easel, but it's augmented reality as well. Well, that's pretty badass.
That's dare I say, smaller than a baseball card.
Hey? Oh yeah.
Yeah, they are. They're tiny. And those like I time lapsed as I was I was painting them, and so like when you view them with the AR app, it kind of like plays back the process of them being created.
Oh shit! Yeah, I just hit play. That's what so when I hit play, that's what the augmented reality is like on this little video. So that's what's. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that is really dope. Well, that's it. I realize you're a lot cooler than I thought you were now. Okay. No, just kidding.
Dude, I mean,
just
yeah,
kidding.
because like your minted stuff is truly tip of the iceberg.
Right. You know,
like
it's a fraction of the work, really. You know, and I've got like I do a bit of like all the VR paintings that I've minted have like augmented reality layers to them too. It's just like hard to like, you know, every post that I make about this stuff to like describe the process, like how are you going to like concisely tell people that are quickly scrolling by, you know, that there's a whole augmented reality layer to a lot of these pieces that is like shows the entire process.
The VR pieces you're creating in VR or for VR?
Yes.
Or I guess
yes.
if in it would also be for, right?
Right. Well, so like I've been really into it's essentially it's like painting simulators, where it's like you're like you have you know, a canvas that's very sort of two-dimensional in front of you, but it's like you're in a 3D studio where you've got, you know, infinite paint, different types of brushes, tools and stuff, and you just go to town on it like you were in a real studio. And then but I like record the point of view from the headset the entire time I'm in there, and then I like edit a little bit of like sort of like a recap of how it's created, and then that lives on as the augmented reality layer.
Okay.
And so like you can get a lot of these VR works, you can order them as like canvas prints where they're like 3 feet by 3 feet. It's been really cool to see collectors do that, and then I put the augmented reality on that. So like if somebody comes into their house and they're showing off this cool art, they can like kick that conversation up a notch and say like, check this shit out. It's also got the whole process of it being made like baked into the canvas.
I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I saw that last week.
Could you display, just like it's more of a technical question, I guess, could you display the AR part just on a TV instead of like through a phone, or like could you just display it as a video on a TV? Like, let's say you had say you just had two TVs side by side. You have the actual the finished piece on one, and then the AR playing on a second. Could you do that?
Yeah, there's no reason why you couldn't. It just would. That's, you know, it wouldn't be augmented reality then. That would just be like a video and a still next to each other.
But it takes away from it a little bit, right? But
yeah. And if anybody that's collected that stuff too, I will always send, because like very very few platforms allow you to like attach more than one asset to the same token.
Okay.
Campfire actually lets me do that, which is cool. Like it's an AVAX platform, but I can like have the front side of the NFT be this final image, and then the reverse they allow for like an asset to sit on the reverse side of your NFT, and then on there like I include the video, so that person, you know, always has that file. But other than that, I just like end up giving the collector the file, and then in some cases like the collector's been so into it that they've been like mint that for me too, please, you know, and I'm happy to do that.
That is so cool. I saw the other day when you were doing some of the VR stuff where you'd posted up a post about where you discovered that if you picked up the table of paints and just shoved it right through the canvas, that you created art that way. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
You can like rage quit on a table that way and like just like throw it at the canvas. It's awesome.
Yeah. You can. These painting simulators are so fun. Like you get to try things that you just normally wouldn't. Like that one also has like they've got a drill in there where you can attach like three brushes to a drill and then go up to your canvas and kind of use it that way. And that's like one of those things where I was like, oh, I'm having so much fun with this in VR. Why don't I try that in my real art studio too? And I've brought that one back from VR in real life, and I've done some like live painting performances where I've had like a drill brush with me. But yeah, I'm super nuts about these painting simulators right now, just because it's kind of new frontier. It's like there's very small communities around VR art making, and so you get to talk directly with the developers of the software. Like I'm good friends now with the Painting VR people. That's the program where I was shoving the table through. And they just wrote me last week and asked me if I would like design a brush for the game, and that's going to be, so they'll have like a Cats Will Eat You brush in their software that people can like buy for an extra $1 or something. It would be like cool. An add-on, So I'm super stoked about that. Yeah,
absolutely.
What kind of hardware are you using?
I got a MetaQuest 3, the new headset from Meta.
Not the Pro or whatever it is that they put out.
No,
just the new 3.
Yep, the new 3.
You gotta get in with the Apple developer community and get yourself one of the whatever I don't even remember the name of it. The eye mask. I don't know what it's called. I forgot what it's called.
Apple Vision Pro. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm trying to like. I want to try to sell a token for, the price of an Apple Vision Pro, and then offer the collector of that, like, you get the first 20 pieces I make with this thing. Because otherwise I don't think I could face my family and say like, hey, I need to spend $4,000 on
right
this headset, even though I've got 2 other ones.
No, I mean they are taking like developers and stuff though that they're giving them to.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely something you should look into.
There's another company here in Minneapolis that does a lot of VR AR work, and they have like a VR playground essentially, like an arcade. You rent out little pods and play games, and I do sort of augmented reality freelance work for them, where I like design 3D assets for games they're building or characters, and they're gonna get like, they'll have like 3 or 4 headsets over there that I'm free to use anytime, I'm sure too.
So
that'd be cool.
This is kind of bringing
you at least have access to them.
Yep.
It's kind of bringing me around to the one question I like to ask artists that are so involved in so many things like you. So do you sleep? Do you get to sleep occasionally?
No,
Okay, yeah,
really. I do like a biphasic sleep schedule. So typically, right about now, I would help my kids fall asleep, kind of like chill out, read some stories with them, and then I take a little nap for an hour, or sometimes 2.5 hours, and then I wake up, around 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I kind of have that's like my art time. That's like my second day, and then I'm up for a few hours, up till like 1 or 2 in the morning, and then I go to bed. So it's kind of like interrupted.
right. See, I think
I'll get
that's
a chunk of.
I think I could do that. I wish I could. I mean, but waking up at 6 a.m. to go to work kind of kicks me in the butt with that one. But I like that idea.
Yeah, it's I do it okay. Like, but a lot of people, like, if they nap that late, well, they'll just be done.
Yeah,
you're just out. And that's that's happened like where I like wake up at like 11:30 or something. I like overslept from my night nap, and I'm like in a panic about my daily streak. It's like I gotta get this done now, you know. But you know, I haven't slept the night through without waking up. So, but yeah, I would love, you know, someday to sort of make enough income off the art where I don't have to work, where I could, you know, be working on the artwork all day.
Right. Well, that's the dream. That's
Yep.
the dream of so many. Well, I mean, you're there. You're. I'd say you're right on the cusp. I would think. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
You know, like you're right there, man. And at
I
least
mean, you definitely have a catalog that you can just sit on for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would
yeah.
think.
There was, you know, and there was like a few months in the original bull run where like it was paying better than my day job, and I was like really thinking like, oh geez, you know, how many more months do I do this before I just decide to like switch? And then everything kind of crashed and changed, and I was like, oh, okay, glad I didn't jump then.
right. Phew. No kidding. Um, so like I'm clicking through your stuff here, looking. I mean, you're definitely all over the place, right? With your art, which is really cool. Um, what are your influences when it comes down to art? Like you know, what artists are influences to
Sure.
you?
Well, I definitely see some of that Picasso that you mentioned earlier. That's, you know,
For sure.
that's pretty apparent in quite a few pieces. Not everything, but it's definitely there.
Yeah, that was always a big one for me. Willem de Kooning was also like another painter that, at least in college, I became like super fascinated with. Francesco Clemente, also kind of very similar to Picasso and de Kooning, and kind of like early Jackson Pollock before he got into splatter painting. It was all like that stuff as far as like painting goes is always like, it still really gets to me, and a lot of times it's like kind of, that's kind of where I'm at with VR painting, is like kind of chasing those inspirations. um and then, you know, and then like animation, I really got into like some weird stuff like Brothers Quay, like and then I like more like simplistic stuff like Don Hertzfeldt, and like weird sort of goofy psychedelic cartoony stuff like Felix Colgrave. I don't know, I don't think any of these people do NFT work. Jake Fried is a huge inspiration on animation stuff. He's big in the NFT scene. And then also like A.L. Crago, he's very, you know, he's kind of our grumpy old man here in the Tezos land, but I absolutely love his work, and I was a big fan of his like back in Tumblr era times too. And then like Kid Mograph, I think he sort of quit NFT Twitter, but he's still really busting ass on some super excellent animation over on other platforms. But yeah, that's kind of, yeah, a lot of like different animators, and then there's also like I do love like there's artists that just like inspire me, but I don't paint like them at all. Like Frida Kahlo is like probably my favorite painter. There's John Kilduff is he does this Let's Paint TV. If you've ever come across that, he'll be on like a treadmill making drinks and taking calls and painting at the same time, which is just, it's
That's
a riot, absolute riot to watch it. Like, but then underneath it all, there's just like this drive to just put paint down the canvas. That's you know, super inspiring to watch.
That is cool. It's kind of like real life painting, honestly, when it boils down to it, right? Dealing with the kids and all the real life shit while we still got to get art done.
Yeah. And so like all those people really inspire me a lot.
Cool. Some of the man, like I don't even know. Like it's just like I'm scrolling through your stuff, and it all changes so much, and you're definitely one of the artists where you could think of if you just quickly look at your stuff, you go, well, this dude's all over the place, man. Can't make heads or tails of it. But when you do look closely at it and you pay attention to each of these pieces, you do see you definitely have your signature in all of this stuff. Like you kind of start to see it as you look more and more.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of a slow burn. It doesn't necessarily hit you. If you look at, especially like if you just take 3 random pieces that look nothing alike, you're not gonna like see the common thread and all the work. But once you sort of see the body of it, it starts to hit for people. I get that a lot, and in retrospect, I understand what like a lot of like the graduate programs that initially rejected me. They couldn't see that because I could only show them 12 pieces.
Right. But I mean, there's a lot of, and in this space, in the Web3 world, like in NFTs and stuff, there's a lot of artists that are like that. And I think it's great because it kind of goes against, it just goes to show that, it doesn't have to be that way. I mean, it's basically pushing away those old ways and going, well, no, I can do all of this. And nobody's going to tell me that I can't, for sure.
Yeah. And I think, too, when you really dive into, artists like Picasso or, Jackson Pollock, they had different styles. Like, they weren't always doing the same thing. They worked through different stages of their career, different styles of art. Like I was doing, when I was in architecture school, I was building a lot of, like, small structures and stuff. Like I don't even touch that stuff now mainly because I don't have space for it. But it's like there's things that kind of come and go in the work, and you just got to allow for that. But then there's definite spots where I can say like, oh, I've got 30 pieces here that all sort of belong together, and I kind of make these little micro collections out of them.
Cool. I just realized as I'm clicking through your stuff here that Jay, who's down there in the room the other day in the Wag Me Wine Discord, he shared one of your pieces. I didn't even realize that it was one of your pieces until I just like started scrolling through. I went, oh shit, that's one of your pieces that he shared. I didn't even know that. So with the human figure with the hole in the head, is that like a third eye kind of thing, or what's behind that?
Yeah, that's a third eye.
Okay.
I started drawing this character, probably 8-9 years ago, maybe even 10. And I was just kind of like, I was just trying to, connect with the sensation I feel like when my imagination really opens up, and like it literally like feels like a hot spot on my head there. And so I just started sort of drawing that before I ever even heard of like third eye as like a sort of spiritual sort of access to, like, whether it's imagination or what, and it was, so I just started kind of drawing it there to just convey that to other people. And then and it kind of like, then I was exposed to tons of people like, oh, cool, third eye. And I was like, what the fuck's this third eye thing? And I looked it up and did some research. And I was like, holy shit, this is really cool. Like I like came upon this naturally, and it's like a whole thing that people experience all over the world. And so it's just kind of, it's been like sort of a self-portrait for me of like how I feel as, like beyond a person in my body. It's sort of this guy that's kind of representing like this creative journey for me.
And that must like some people that I'm sure when some people have told you that, like especially the real big spiritual people with the third eye thing, and if you tell them that story, I'm sure that would just blow them like right away. They'd be like, "Holy fuck, dude! Like you're for real. You really have it. You really had this happen."
There was a like a rock star monk from Germany that
There's something you don't
reached
hear
out
often.
to me like 8 years ago, and he had come upon like my daily stuff and was like, he's like telling me that he's like, you were definitely a monk in a past life. This guy just like loved my stuff, and he started like, he's like, can I use some of this stuff in kind of for my lectures and like my marketing for my Zen studio and stuff. And I was like, you're in Germany. I have no way to stop you from doing whatever you want. So please just don't do anything offensive with it. Like, go ahead. And
copyright doesn't cross borders like that, or what?
I don't have the time to figure that out. Or
Gotcha.
like
you just weren't worried about it, basically. You're like, nah, I'm not going to worry about it. You're way over there.
What am I like? Am I going to hire a lawyer to chase after some guy in Germany for using my work when like he doesn't have any money? Like, I doubt it. Like, it's
as long as he's not making money off of it, right? Kind of thing. If he goes out and starts making a couple $100,000, you hire a lawyer. But if he's just using it for teaching or things like that or whatever, then I'm with you. Yeah.
I'd imagine I'd imagine in some countries it doesn't matter, right? I would totally believe that. You could probably go to some place and they'd be like, yeah, so you're not here.
Yeah.
I mean, ask Disney about that, but I think it definitely matters. It's just the degree of what are you doing with it, and who how much lawyer do you have?
Yeah, and that guy, and he just started sending me money, as like a thank you for it, and I was just like thrilled, and then also then like he's got like followers in Germany that started like getting into my art. Like I had like one lady reaching out, and she like accused me of astral projecting into her dreams. And I was like, I don't know if that was me. But she's like, what are you, just get out of here. But yeah, definitely a lot of weird things that just kind of happen when you like put yourself out there like artistically like this. It's such a blast. And then I also did find out too that the first images of Buddha, the first artistic interpretations of Buddha were blue, and I was like, what? This is just too weird now.
Wow. Well, all right. So if you get smited down and you come back, well, we know, right? Shit. So when you said earlier, it just kind of struck me when you said rock star monk. So he was just a monk who was like a badass monk. He wasn't actually like a rock star, right? It was he's just like an awesome badass monk.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I should make sure he's not joining the space now. Like he's very, he's pretty tech savvy, but he was like, I think he went to like Harvard Divinity School, right? And then he moved to Korea, and because he was like a white guy teaching meditation in Korea, he became like sort of famous and like well published. He got to meet like the Dalai Lama and was like very well known, but then for reasons I don't know, he got like run out of Korea and like kicked out and like started a smaller place in Germany. But I guess he in that world that I don't know a whole lot about,
he's somebody.
He was somebody. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Rockstar monk. I love that. I just kind of want to put that on a coffee mug now.
Yeah. I mean, and every time he talks to me, like he'll like FaceTime me, and he'll be like sneaking away from his like meditation students and like smoking a joint and just like shooting the shit with me. So he's definitely like he's like always like collaborating with like techno musicians, and they're putting his like lectures on top of like weird techno tracks and stuff. It's just not what I would have imagined a monk life to be like, but I think he's breaking the rules a little bit.
Right, rewriting the monk life.
Yeah.
That puts up another picture in my head, just a picture with the words underneath it, monk life, and a monk just like flashing some symbols, little hand signals at you. Monk life.
Yeah.
That is fucking cool. That is cool. And there you go. That just goes to, it kind of brings in like, how art just takes people on these journeys, right? Whether you're, an artist can end up on these crazy journeys and meet crazy people and discover wild things just because of your art, and that's really neat. It's a big connector.
Yeah. Yes.
So smoking joints, but that's a different topic. So these, kind of wanted to go into, I don't even know how you say this, the phenakitoscopes?
I say phenakistoscope.
Phenakistoscope.
Hold on, before we go there, I'm trying to buy one of these little blue monk guys from one of these little tiny acrylic canvases. You got a discount code you can share with me? It's asking for a discount code at checkout, so I figure I might as well ask before I hit checkout.
Those are for my Patreon subscribers. They get a little discount code there. But I don't have any handy right now.
Just Google it, Willie. Those all those coupon clippers. They're always putting it up there. Somebody's probably got it up there. Yeah, just use this coupon.
Oh, my next question was maybe you create one at WXAPK. That's WXAPK, and then we can help push it out there.
Push it out there. Shit. Willie's
push out my discount code for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not good for sales, Willie.
Well, it is if it's only like 1% and you get more sales.
Fair enough. Something
right,
is
right.
Something is something. That's very, very true.
Right?
That's very, very true. All right. So these, how did you say it again?
Phenakistoscopes.
Phenakistoscopes. Is that a made-up word, or that's a real legit? That's what these are called.
That's what. Oh well. Okay,
is that what the? Go ahead.
Yeah. This is the oldest, kind of like the oldest form of animation there was these. It was like a toy. Well over 100 years old.
Weren't they also used to be called like penny movies?
Yeah. So you would you would have like a little wheel that you turn, and then it has slits in it, and you would
okay
look
right,
through the slits and face a mirror, and so then you're only seeing it frame after it's been rotated every time. And then like I ran into these things like 4 years ago, and I was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I gotta like figure out how to make them, and then kind of add my own digital spin on them. And so like I totally reverse engineered how these things are made, and kind of applying like just a 12 frame loop around. And so it's I think if you do 12, it's like 30 degrees. You have your next image, and then if you rotate it at 12 frames a second, it just comes to life. And so I decided I would draw them, all on one sheet of paper, and then, I plan them out on computer, and then I render them by hand. And
what do you mean render them by hand?
Like I have I'll have like basic marks done on the computer, and then I love the way it looks when it's hand drawn. And so I like print out the guideline, and then I rotoscope or trace it with ink, and then shade it in with pencil and stuff.
So they are physical hand drawings.
Yes.
At that point.
Yes,
Okay.
just so I have like a physical hand drawing look, and then I make a animated GIF from that physical piece, and then that animated GIF becomes the augmented reality layer for that's triggered by when you look at the physical piece.
That is these are so cool. I mean, I knew about those old school versions, but I never knew there was a name like that for them. Those old timey
Yeah.
people, they had crazy names for things, didn't they? Couldn't be just
Yeah.
a spinning picture thing.
One interesting thing is there's arguments about the spelling and pronunciation of phenakistoscope, and I thought that was really appropriate with GIF and GIF too. Like,
Oh yeah.
just kind of like it's like a
Yeah, one is a digital animation and one's a peanut butter. Right?
right.
Yeah.
Oh, Willie, you're definitely a dad, buddy. We can tell. These are amazing, and I mean, it must be kind of interesting to wrap your head around it a little bit too when you're making them, right? Because I mean,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've learned so many animation tricks just from working with these. And I feel like every time I kept coming back to them because I was like, what am I going to figure out how to, like there was just all kinds of new tricks that you pick up just in working in that particular medium, which is crazy. I still don't feel like I've mastered it. I'm trying to work on some like 3D prints that are gonna work like this. They'll like sit on a record player.
Oh yeah.
With sculptures, and then a flash a strobe light at it to show off each frame.
oh man, I like that.
I dig that.
I love
My
that
printer's
idea.
running right now. Finally, again.
Good.
Did you say your printer, Willie? Oh yeah, okay. We went 3D printer there.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we went
So,
3D printer there,
Just
man.
just before you drop in there, Willie, I was going to say this one here, biking the loop. I'm just clicking back on it here. I want to click back on it, look at it. So there's occasionally you see little marks around the edge. Was that like positioning marks that you were using, or do you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of the earlier ones. I made positioning marks all the way around, and then a lot of the newer ones they'll just be one, so I can kind of remember which side is top. Because otherwise I just forget what side is top, and I like to have when I place them in the physical display in the acrylic block frame that they sit in. I like to make sure I have the top on the top, because then it's going to be a smoother pickup for the augmented reality. Otherwise, it's like trying to detect the same image upside down, and it might take 3 or 4 seconds longer.
Gotcha. Cool. I just came up with this dude riding a skateboard. That's right. I called it dude riding a skateboard, but it has a name. Gleaming the Cube. Oh, it's just like that old 80s movie, Gleaming the Cube.
Yeah.
Gleaming the Cube.
Yeah, I love those two that you just brought up are two of my favorites. Like and those went real quick too. Like day of posting was like someone snagged them up. There was a bidding war on the biking one. It was funny too, because it took me like I'd been trying to like animate a guy riding a bike forever, and that one specifically it was a real challenge to learn. But then once I got it, I was like, fuck, this rules. And then of course I don't have it anymore. It's all gone.
That's really cool. And my next question was going to be, so what's your favorite ones that you've done? But you just answered that.
Yeah, that biking one. And then on the object collection, there's one called Flippantly Lunar, where it's like this guy doing backflips.
I gotta find that one now. You said that was on your object?
Yeah, that's in the object collection.
Okay, I'm gonna look in here. I'm also
That biking one's nuts.
we're streaming on YouTube too, so I always like to put things up there for the old YouTube kids. Okay, wait a minute. I'm on object. Why can't I find that one? What's going on here?
So are you in? Can you go to my collections and objects and go into 31 Infinities?
Yeah, if I can click the right damn thing, man. Oh, see this new object now. I gotta go where? How do I get into collections? Well, I'm under all collections. Okay. Is weird, man. What was it called? Sorry.
31 Infinities is the name of the collection.
That's weird. I don't even see it. It's not even coming up for me. Oh, there it is.
What?
Oh, you spelt it out. 31. I was looking for 3-1.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
I'm such a simpleton.
So the one that's called Flippantly Lunar, I think
Okay, I'll scroll
was
down to that one.
the best one here.
Oh man, these are so great.
There's only 4 of these left in this collection of 31, and this one, so I did all of these in October.
For unminted then?
What's that?
For unminted or
No, there's 4. So this collection was totally minted in 2022, and have slowly been selling them since then. But there's 4 remaining, and I made these in 2021, and then all 31 of them were made in October that month, like one a day, and I put them together all into a short film that you also get the short film when you buy this NFT. You get the physical art. Go ahead.
That was going to be my next question. Do you get the physical?
You get the physical. And Paul, who had to leave our conversation here, actually got one of these.
Of course he did. Damn Paul.
Yeah.
No, this one
but
I've
yeah,
got it up now. I've got that one up now. This one is very cool.
Yeah,
These would be great on a record too. Like
yes.
Like pressed on vinyl. That would be awesome.
The amount of like music people that have reached out saying like, "Oh, let's collab on a vinyl record," has been tremendous. But then it's all like,
I mean, Tim Maxwell's on Tezos. Why can't you be on a Tool album?
Yeah, right, yeah,
right.
And so like it's just like working with artists. People like flake out, like they don't. So it just hasn't happened, but there will be. I'm sure there will be. And I do make some 12-inch ones that are actually 16 frames and color, and they can sit on a record player, and you can run them.
How big are these ones?
These are 7 inches.
Okay.
A 7-inch circle. It sits in like an 8-inch frame. It's like an acrylic block. It's really beautiful display.
Does it come? It comes framed?
Yeah.
I might buy one.
I was gonna say Willie's gears are turning. I can tell.
I'm asking the buying questions now.
Well, I can. That's why, because
okay, physical. All right, it comes framed. Oh, all right.
I was gonna say the HR department's not in the room, so that's why Willie's talking about buying.
Yeah, you can ship it with the 3x3 acrylic I just bought.
Oh, did you really buy 3?
Oh.
You really got that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, Willie.
Hell yeah. Let me see. I got your order.
Whoop whoop. There you go, folks. It happened right here, right now,
I wasn't
live.
joking. That might be the most I've ever spent on. I mean, we tend to often buy NFTs while we're talking to the artist, but that might be the most I've ever spent so far until I pick up one of these.
Which one did you buy, Willie? The self
Well, it's
worship.
probably not up there anymore. I hope.
He bought like physical art from my
from the
my
physical store.
Yeah.
cartel site. Yeah.
Yeah. So which one was it? I just
Bought a little cloudy.
You know what? Let me. I should.
Oh, you bought a
print it
little
out.
cloudy? Okay, I'm just pulling it up here right now. You didn't buy the big bunch of bananas? Come on, man, on the blue chair?
No, I'm not
Dude.
big on bananas.
But they were big bananas. On a blue chair.
Well, that's
Just a
true. That is true.
Bunch of bananas.
I'm just putting it up there for our YouTube viewers, Willie, so they can see your.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
but a
that's
little
cool.
cloudy. If it's still, maybe it shows a soul.
Oh, is there no video? Is there no video on the webpage on this one? What the heck? Oh man, that is really cool though. I like that, Willie. I would have went with self worship too, but you know, the reason I didn't pick one up is because trying to choose between self worship 2 and enormous bunch of bananas on a tiny blue chair is just it's too strenuous on me. I can't. Oh, dude, I'm jealous now, Willie. That's awesome.
Well, thank you, Willie.
Are you got Willie?
Yeah,
Are you,
that's awesome, man.
Willie, you
And
gotta
it's
you
small
gotta
enough
buy
that
one
the
of those
wife's
little.
not gonna bitch. Like, what the fuck? 42 by 42. Put it in my little printing room next to my wine stuff, and
Dude, you could almost carry that in your wallet and flash it to people all the time. Look at this.
right.
You're gonna have to buy a little tiny easel as well to put it on. I've got one
Comes
of those.
with the easel. I did read that. Easel
comes with
included.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course it does. Like there,
Yeah.
of course. I mean, to hear it come, to hear your pieces were coming framed like that blows me away. I mean, that doesn't happen very
And come
often.
on, buy an easel. I would have printed an easel.
Right, fair enough. You could have printed a blue guy holding it up in the air. Honestly, maybe do that.
Ooh,
Right?
it's a cool idea.
Yeah, I like that idea.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, get on it, Willie. You got a printer now. That's what you got to
Do you do you have any models I can borrow to make that?
Yeah, I think I
I
do.
can mess around with that.
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome. Just while we're doing a little
yeah.
chatter here, I just wanted to kind of reset the room because we got a lot of great people in here. Carrie Ross, Laser Lou Dude, Karen, Juliet Haas, thank you. Humans of the Universe, Lily White popped in. Thank you, Lily, for coming in. Fendel, Malicious Sheep, Jay, Meat Block, United Saints of America, Sister Sage, Fig Tea. Thank you very much, folks, for popping in. We are talking this evening with Cats Will Eat You, and it has been a great conversation. Willie just bought a badass little piece of art. I like to say a little because I would have said badass little piece of art like no matter what, but the fact of that it is a little piece of art, it just makes it even better. 3x3, right? That's fucking cool. That is so cool.
I've got QR codes bigger than that.
So with NFTs,
but I love it. I love tiny art.
Well, tiny art is just, I mean, it
fucking physicals from Threesomes one day still.
So what got you into NFTs and the blockchain? I don't think we've touched on this.
No. I got a kind of weird journey there. So it was like 2018 in the fall. Maker's Place reached out to me and said we were looking for an artist to be founding partner, and I was like, fuck, that sounds like a scam. No way, not gonna do it. they seriously, they were like, the dude was like pestering me, sent me like 4 or 5 emails, and I just kept it. I just totally blew it off. But I had been interested in crypto at the time, just like reading like very like mainstream articles on it, and I had like a Cash App wallet where you could buy like crypto with whatever cash somebody sent you. And like I'm also a musician, which we let's not go down that road yet, but and so when our band would get to practice, we would like pay for the practice space. Someone would give me their $25, and I would like throw that in Cash App and buy some Bitcoin with it. And then I was just kind of like sort of ignoring actual participation in crypto beyond that, and like reading mainstream stuff, but it was always super interesting to me. And then in like 2020, I was like reading kind of about I was like just launching I had like a lot of extra time because of the pandemic, and like I was working from home, and so like I just started like sinking more time into like marketing my own art and seeking out ways to like sell art, and I stumbled on like an article about NFTs, and I was like, oh, this shit's still going. Like maybe it wasn't a scam, and I like dug out my like Maker's Place email, like, and I was like, oh shit, this site's starting to pop off. Like, what's going on here? And then, yeah, kind of like, I started. I just really, I should have, in retrospect, I should have just dove in then and started like minting work and figuring things out. But instead, I like decided to just do research for a few months because I was like really, because I just knowing I've got, at that time, it was like a 5,000 piece collection. And I'm like, I really wanted it all in one place as like one collection, one body of work, all on the blockchain. I was like super excited that like, oh, there's finally a way for me to like sort of store this. I was really excited just about the storage aspect of it, like having my huge collection of work like all minted and documented as me being the creator of it. And so I didn't really like, I was kind of holding back from putting anything on because I was like, I want to be on the best platform there is, like, and so like I like sent off an application to like Nifty Gateway and Super Rare, and I just kind of waited, and I should have just like dove right in, but I didn't. And I was initially like rejected from those platforms, so I kind of like, okay, I'll keep trying other things, and I finally got accepted. I think in January of that year, I got accepted to this platform called CryptoArt.ai, which was like Asia's largest crypto art platform at the time. And if they're now defunct, I think they've recently like closed it, like maybe 6 months ago or something. But yeah,
Does that have anything to do with like anti crypto laws or anything like that, or just bad management by
they were always like poor man. There was like obviously like there was like language barrier when I was talking with them, like on their Discord all the time. It was always kind of like confused. We were just like missing each other a little bit. There was some other artists on the platform that were kind of like helping me out, figure out like, oh, you're gonna need a wallet here. You gotta like, wait for gas to come down before you mint. And like some people were really helpful to me, but the platform itself was just kind of like a mystery. But I got a piece up, and then I got a sale. They sold my like Genesis like $500, and I was like, oh my god, this is the greatest fucking tech that ever existed. And I was like, this is so cool, because I had people, I think around the time Maker's Place had initially invited me, I had just like done an interview where a guy like asked me like, how do you think I can ever collect your digital work? And I was just like shrugging my shoulders. I was like, I don't know, just you can save it, but there's no way to collect it, And so all of a sudden, like, it just like opened my eyes to it, and I was just really stoked. And then after that, I had a couple more sales on that platform, and then I got accepted onto Terra Virtua, which is now I think they're called Virtua, but it's like a platform based out of the UK, which I never see anybody posting anything about them on the timeline now, but like at the time they were and they're still kicking it. I think they've kind of shifted into gaming more, but they took a bunch of like my abstract work, and they like covered the mint costs and stuff, which was cool. And I was selling work there pretty regularly. And then I got one of my buddies from their initial site, like that crypto art site, like invited me to Foundation when those invitations were really hard to get. So I got on there, started selling some work, and then that was kind of like how it all began. And two, like I want to say like my first few months in the space, I had no idea that everyone was on Twitter, which is like super embarrassing in retrospect. But I was just like, because I had been posting on Twitter, I had been posting my art there for years, and like I just kind of like go online, post my art, put a bunch of hashtags on it, and then I would like log off. But I wasn't like hanging on or interacting with people there because I wasn't getting a lot of hits. It was like not a good algorithm for art, and so
Still isn't.
just like still isn't, right?
It's not a good algorithm for much.
And so I was kind of, focused on other social media platforms. So I was learning about NFTs through like Instagram and Facebook, which is probably like the worst place to like figure out anything. And
which at the time were still like not even allowing links to NFT websites or anything like that, right?
Right. It was kind of like I would try to like promote work on there, but just because the market was so good, I was sort of successful at that time, at least selling stuff, which was cool. And then I kind of like slowly the people that I made friends with early on kind of like clued me in, like, you got to be on Twitter to like deal with this. And now I'm on all the time. So
That's funny. It's kind of like you backdoored. You went the roundabout way back to Twitter.
Yeah, for sure.
Shit, didn't I just come from here?
Yep.
That's a hell of a journey. Do you have a favorite platform? Do you have a favorite chain you like to go to now, or is it just you like to spread it all over?
I think still at my core, I would love to, get everything under the same, in one spot, in one platform and one blockchain. But it just like, it doesn't make sense right now. I think there's too many little groups that might be interested in my work. So I'm going to keep kind of playing around. Like I love like objects, honestly. Like I love the layout of the site and buying and collecting on it, and
even the new site
and selling it. But it sucks to like take a pay cut like that, compared to what you can make if you get sales on Ethereum. So it's
so what
really
Solana,
so Solana's still much higher sales than Tez at the moment.
Yeah, I got one.
From what I see.
Yep, for sure. I got one piece on there, but I haven't sold yet, so I don't know. Maybe if not.
Does it have a physical too? I got a bunch of souls laying around. I don't collect a lot on soul. I just collect soul.
Yeah. I do. I have a huge physical on Art Raid. It's like Art Trade. It's supposed to be Art Trade, but they're missing a T, so there's only one T. ArtTrade.app. They just launched a Solana physical only site, but that one's a big ass painting, so that's at 33 soul.
33
but
soul.
Yeah.
Well,
that one I just.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say. Well, I mean, it's going to be Joe Rogan's dad. I think we were talking to not too long ago, who was. He believes that sooner than later, I mean, all the blockchains are just going to come together, and you're going to be able. It won't matter where you are or what you do, and you see something on ETH, you can buy it with Sol. So
right.
Maybe it'll happen, and then everything then it won't matter anymore.
I mean, I know. Actually, I was just looking, but I didn't see it anymore. Does Object still have where you can buy with ETH? You used to be able to buy with ETH for a while there.
Oh, I'm sure it still does. That I wouldn't make any sense for them to take that away.
Yeah, I just didn't see it, but maybe because I'm not connected with ETH wallet, I don't know.
Why, you looking to spend some ETH now, Willie? Too? You drop some Sol, some ETH, some fiat.
You know me, man. You know, we're not. I'm not big on the ETH.
No.
Gas fees and all that. And...
Yeah. I hate that aspect of it also, but like it does have its benefits, just like mass adoption.
It's got players on it for sure. Yeah.
So the one thing that I wonder though too is, I mean, so is there the fear, like when you on Object, like why not list higher and more expensive pieces? Is there like that? So many artists do touch on this, right? Like, well, I like Tezos, but take a pay cut. But why not list to what the piece should be worth, or put some of those higher end pieces on there and charge. You just fear you would never sell them, or
I don't know. I just felt like I wanted to participate in the culture that was there
Sure.
rather than come in as an outsider, if that makes any sense. More than being worried about, because like I've got pieces on chains that haven't sold, and I'm totally comfortable with that because I've got paintings in my basement that I've been sitting on for 10 years, and I just know that someday someone's going to come across that, and like so for me it's not about not selling the work, it's more about like not being rude.
yeah, no, I
But
respect that. That's
like A.L. Craigo, who I brought up earlier, like he sells for a higher price on ETH and
Yep.
sticks to his guns about it, and I think that's pretty cool. And then my 31 Infinities are 300 Tez, which is like a high price in Tez land. But when you think about like, you gotta mail those things, and there's like a physical that comes with it, so it's actually like
framed physical,
very very reasonably priced at the end of the day. Like I had a bunch sell internationally, and then I lost some money on it because I was mailing them overseas.
right. Yeah, no, that's a great answer. I loved how you answered that, and I mean, respecting the culture, like that makes sense too, I guess, because that's kind of what we do. It's kind of what everybody does over there on the Tez. Yeah, for sure. No, that was a very, very great answer. I like to hear that because it doesn't often get answered enough. Maybe I don't ask the question enough either, though. But I think I do. But I think it gets skirted quite often.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna raise my prices right now. But I think for me it was just like, oh, we're all kind of playing the same game on this platform, so let's see what people think.
Yeah.
And can I have fun with it? And that's the other thing too. It's like I'm enjoying my time on these platforms as much as I can.
Right. And putting out some amazing stuff in the process. It's mesmerizing. I'm actually surprised that I've been disengaged with talking as I flip through your art, because I'm just sitting here and I'm like, holy fuck, look at that. Get lost in here.
I know, same here. It's been a great conversation so far, and I know there's more to. I definitely have some more questions written down. So
I was going to say
we're not stopping if you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I'm skipping my night nap for you guys.
Oh, dude, you're going to be a wreck tomorrow. Can you tell me a little bit about this? What's this Moonchild piece? Is this actually your piece, or is this a collaboration, or?
Oh wow!
Yeah,
you found that. Yeah, that's a collab. So I didn't make the music for it, but
oh shit, there's music.
You guys, yeah, that's So that's minted under a different guy's wallet. So Foundation's initial contract didn't allow you to like split or anything. So that's like just the honor system with me and the musician. But Noah Lampert, he runs a very one of my favorite podcasts of all time called Synchronicity, and it's totally it's like a crypto meets spirituality podcast. Super wild conversations on there, and I was like a fan of his show, and then I'm a member of his Patreon, and like was like sharing my art with their community, and he's like, hey, we should, when NFTs were popping off, he's like, let's do one. And so that's like his genesis piece, is this collab with me, but he wanted to price it at 3 ETH, and I was like, that's too high. He's like, someday it's gonna sell. So it's still sitting there, but it's a super cool piece.
It is very good. And actually, you know what? I just wanted to take a second here, and I'm just going to bring the audio up on this a little bit, because it's a pretty groovy vibe going on with it too.
Yeah, that's tight.
Yeah. And I was gonna say, like, if folks are listening, if you check it out, if you listen to it in headphone, like it's got some bass to it, like it's got some kick to it, man. I can't wait to actually listen to it out
I
loud
mean,
on
I feel
the
like
big stereo.
you could just fade that down and like just have it in the background
Just
the
got
whole
a
rest of
little
the
groovy
night,
vibe,
you know?
little groovy
Yeah,
vibe.
just set a little mood here, just grooving.
It's kind of cool because there's a sound in there, and it kind of sounds like somebody making a drink or something like that. I don't think it's meant to sound like that, but that's what
I mean, that sounds like a great transition to start talking about some music.
Oh.
Because I noticed that, I'm like one of the worst offenders of not listening to NFTs when I open them, just because like I'm always in another room, or I don't have headphones on where I like can, and I'm at my desk or something. But yours, I had headphones on, and I was lucky enough to like be able, like, oh, wait a minute, here we go. Like when I first started looking at some of your stuff, that kind of hit me immediately, like, oh, you got some groovy beats here.
Yeah, thanks, man.
And then I'm going to be that guy that says, "Really? I don't think I've listened to any of them."
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
And, this is a flip flop for once.
Yeah, it is for once.
Yeah. So some of the early work, the like Hickett Nunk stuff, those all had sort of music to them, and the 31 Infinities, those phenakistoscopes we were talking about, the short film, all of these pieces have like a 10-second beat that go with them, and that piece is part of the augmented reality experience only. So it's kind of like when you own that piece and you have the physical there, is kind of the only way it's complete. Was how I was seeing that in my head. So when you view that particular piece in AR, you're viewing that part of the film where it has that music to it. But then you do get, if you watch, there's the one that's not a phenakistoscope. It's just called 31 Infinities, an exploration of phenakistoscope. It's like a 4-minute film. It's all 31 of them back to back in the order that they're made, with like the beat behind it. And so I was, modifying the beat every night that I was making those too.
Modifying the beat.
But yeah, it's kind of a lot, it's like it's probably my fault, is like that I'm always like adding a layer on to things just to like, I don't know.
Well, yeah.
So, I mean,
just love it.
Like how long have you been producing your own beats and stuff like that? Like, is it something that is fairly recent, or?
I guess it's recent that I've been sharing the sort of little drum machine beat stuff that I make. But I've been I've been writing music since childhood too. Like in high school, I was like in a ska band, and I had like nine friends. We had like horn players and everything, and I was writing all the music for it. I was writing the trombone parts, trumpet parts. I was the guitar player, and then so I was writing that music on a MIDI software on my computer, and then like printing out the notes for everybody to read and play along with me. And then I kind of throughout college, and then maybe like 5 or 6 years after college, I was playing pretty serious in like a hardcore punk band, kind of like a very noisy, very fast punk rock trio. And then kind of writing music with Fruity Loops on the side, just like little tiny electronic tracks to just have fun with it, really. And then really, as after college, when the other bandmates moved away, it was really like when I started focusing more on like the visual aspects of my art instead of music as much, but I kind of keep writing, and I still get together a couple times a month with some guys, and we practice punk and noise music. We got a band called Bird Sounds, just like sort of grunge and punk combined.
Grunge.
Very, yeah, yep,
Grunk.
yep.
So, like, can we find you on Spotify or anything like that, or?
Yeah, it's tough because our band's name is Bird Sounds. And
Yeah, so
there's
you
a
have
bunch
to
of
filter through actual bird
there's a-
sounds.
Yep.
I love it.
That's
I mean, that's terrible from a marketing standpoint, but it's kind of funny
Yeah,
from
and
a
we're
creative
not
standpoint.
like, and we're totally not like an active band. We're like three dads now that get together and sort of write music
Yeah.
together. But we're not like trying to make a serious run at music. But yeah, so to answer your question, yeah, it's just like music's just another kind of layer to all my work. But
So
I'm definitely more visually focused than, and I
What-
don't like
what
my drum
what-
beats and stuff. Don't go ahead.
No, sorry, you go.
Like I still don't feel like super tons of confidence about like my beats and stuff. Like they're just like kind of corny alien music, but I love making them, so I keep doing it.
So do you play a physical instrument, or you
Yeah,
just mostly
I
produce
play-
beats?
Guitar?
I play guitar, and then I produce beats and like play, like I cannot play piano, but I write the stuff with a keyboard.
Whoa.
And then
Talented.
That's an interesting statement.
Right? I know, that's kind of blew me away there.
Yeah, I'm kind of reeling in that one still. What? You can't? I don't play piano, but I write with a keyboard. I'm confused about that one. But I don't play music, so I don't know how that works.
Yeah, well, when you're with, and I don't, I could get a little out over my skis here, but like, you can tinker around on a keyboard when you have like software to help you, drill in exactly where you want the notes. And so that's what I mean when I say I can't play. Like I can play the chords by playing one note at a time and put them in the right spot then, if that makes sense.
Okay.
It's like you can program a drum machine, but you can't play the drums.
Yeah, like almost like a slower pace, like 1 2, and then okay, well let's find the third note, 1 2 3, but you can't like put it all together at a faster pace.
Right. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like
okay.
whereas like guitar, I can actually play a guitar.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
How many people were in your ska band back in the day?
9 at one time.
Shit, hey. That's the thing about ska bands. Like, wow, man. Was there lots of leg kicking and fucking woo? Oh, it's rowdy music.
That's like, that's why it ended. It's like, oh, I got so tired of like calling 8 other people and telling them, figuring out if we could play a show or figuring out when we're going to practice. And then I was like, I'm just going to do a trio after this, like, because I can't wrangle these people in all the time.
Yeah, I guess though logistically that's great. Yeah, that makes sense. I totally would see how that would happen because I mean I hate doing shit with groups of people because it's always such a hassle.
Well, if you ever need to add a saxophone back in, hit up Findle down there.
Okay.
Or the wood blocks.
Yeah, he's mean on the wood blocks too. I don't think he likes us saying that.
Fendel can damn near play anything, I think. He's probably down there going, damn straight I can. Hells yeah. Amazing. I was actually just going to say, this might be a good little time since we were just talking about Fendel down there. If it's okay with you, Matt, that we would just open it up to see if anybody has any questions that's been listening to us tonight. see if they have any
Yeah,
questions
absolutely.
for you. Yeah. So if anybody,
So, while we
Yeah.
wait for people to request or whatever, I definitely have some more questions, and I'll keep going here.
you ever,
So sticking with music, did you ever create like any of your own show posters and stuff like that?
Oh yes. Gig posters, love that part of it.
Do you are they like could you find them in the like or sorry could we find them in like the
Let me.
daily arts or is there any way we
I
can
would.
see any of those?
I would assume that some of them ended up there. Sometimes I would like take like the show info off and just use the art as my daily. But I think most of them would be if you go to catsweetyou.com and you look at galleries and go to vector illustrations. There's a
that's a
section there.
hell of a drop down, man. You click on galleries, it's like holy shit.
Yeah, there's
Holy
also-
shit!
Yeah.
I didn't
Those are
even
kinda
see
like-
that.
and those are like so these are kind of like micro collections if you think about it, like roughly where I group stuff mentally.
You
But
said vector illustrations.
yeah, there was a time in my life where I did a lot of like Adobe
Oh, yeah.
Illustrator vector stuff, and so the
Charlie
lot of-
Farewell Tri-State. Is that looks like
yeah
it might be
yeah.
one there. Got some dates on there.
Yeah. So that was that was like a Weekend Warrior three shows in a row poster for that.
Very cool.
Yeah, like our band previously, the punk band in the college area, like we did like little tours of like East Coast and South and stuff. Played hundreds of shows. I really wanted at that time. I really wanted to go full on into music,
And here we are.
and here we are.
Here we are.
It's a
So-
kid's game.
Okay, so 17 years you've been doing daily art posts.
Yeah.
Was the music in between that? Before
Yeah.
that? Like
It was always like happening, parallel with that.
okay.
Dude, I love this. I love this Yeti one here. What is it? Corn time. It's got the Yeti walking through a cornfield. It's just or Sasquatch or whatever it may be.
Yeah. I think this was a show poster, but not for my band. It would have been there was like a bluegrass festival in.
Oh, there's 3 pages or more. It's only showing me the first page. Okay, all right.
I could see this one with the Sasquatch in the
see-
cornfield. I could see this one above my couch. We
Your
had
portfolio is just astonishing.
yeah, dude, you're
Like,
wild.
The
Like,
amount of work here is insane.
I'm just gonna
Thank you.
start randomly clicking, see what I come up with. So if I disappear, y'all know where I am. I've fallen down.
There is a random button on the top menu.
Oh shit!
So could
there it is.
Could I just set it on a third monitor in my office and then just constantly be looping through random art?
You got to click on it though.
You gotta click it every time.
You'd
Maybe
have-
you could like write a macro or something that.
There you go. Or you'd have to
It's
get one of those birds like remember when Homer Simpson was taking care of the
Oh yeah,
Right?
the
Little drinking bird?
a dipping water bird,
Yeah.
a drinking water bird.
get one of those to click on your mouse button. Oh,
I
this
like
is
it.
oh, this is great. I love this random button. Oh, that's a smart addition to the site, especially for how much stuff is here. Oh, this is great. Okay,
Yeah.
it's great.
So did you continue with the computer science stuff and like do you actually do full stack? Did you build the
No.
website and everything yourself or
I did build the website, but then like I have a guy like another bandmate of mine actually helps me with it now because it kind of it was just taken up to like it got to a point where I had
just too much?
I had maybe 4,000 pieces on the site at that time, and then I was kind of like I can't do this PHP upgrade right now, like, and upgrade my WordPress so that it's secure, like, because I'm just not. I haven't done it in 2 years, and I forgot how.
Yeah.
And so, like, I want somebody that can, because there was one day where, like, I fucking did it. I went to go update everything on my site, and I deleted it. It was gone, and all of a sudden I had like,
Oof.
I had to like restore it post by post. I still had all the art on hard drives and stuff, but that was like super painful for me. That was just, and I think at that time I was like 3 years in, but I was like, never gonna let that happen again. But it just, so now I let somebody that like deals with that all the time help me out.
Well, you should definitely let that guy know that he needs to,
There's
add
stuff that's broken.
a reset on the random. So
Oh, yeah,
so it'll so like every 30 seconds, a minute or whatever, you get a new random.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
So you can just click it once, set it full screen on a monitor, and just let it play all day.
Oh, shoot. Lily was up here to say something, but she probably had to go to sleep. She dropped out. That's okay. That's all right. We'll talk to her tomorrow.
I'm also seeing some horses here, so I want to mention horse trading, which is a little Tez community of artists that trade horses.
Where did you find horses? Paul tried to bring me into his horse community, and I was like, I don't draw horses, but you found some.
I'm still under the vector illustrations. There's a piece called Invisible Horse.
Oh, fuck!
On page 2.
Yes. I couldn't think of it when I talked to Paul. But yes, I have done horse, I guess.
There you go. I was just down here in the bottom right looking at the posts, and Malicious, who so graciously helps us, with clearing up some information. Apparently, Object's alternate transaction provider, Winter, is no longer facilitating purchases in ETH on Object. So that answers that question.
Okay, there you go.
Right.
So, yeah, I figured I didn't see it.
Fendel's popped up here. Fendel, my man, you got a question there, sir?
Yes, sir. What a great space. And yeah, super. Wow, June and I are just sitting here like, just wow, what a streak that is. We're like curious, how many pieces do you actually have in your basement? Number one, and number two, since we're talking to somebody from Minnesota, what's your favorite hot dish?
Tater tot hot dish, of course.
Yes.
Hot dish? You guys have to school me on what a hot dish is.
Do you know what a casserole is?
Yeah.
It's a casserole.
Okay.
Fancy name for casserole.
We have wider variety of casserole. So
okay.
We just had to make it more vague and call it hot dish.
Well, it just sounds fancier that way, right? Too.
Right. So yeah, I do have art storage problems in the house. So there's probably, I don't know, maybe like a couple dozen physical paintings in my furnace room, encroaching in on the furnace slowly. So hopefully that's, hopefully I can get rid of a couple and then make a couple more.
You could probably get rid of the furnace.
Right. And then, just probably thousands of drawings. But then really like most sculptural stuff I've gotten rid of, or larger works. But yeah, I'm sitting on, thousands of drawings and like a couple dozen paintings.
Minus 2.
Yeah.
And did you sell a lot of your work, or did you like give a lot of your work away, or like?
Yeah, people, several times a year I'll, move some paintings. So I have sold a lot, but then there was like also like moving between houses. The last move when me and my wife moved from our rental property to the house we bought, you know, I tossed 20 pieces in the dumpster. Just work that it was like no longer attached to, you know, not like I look at it and think like, oh, I was so stupid when I painted that. So it's just like it's very easy for me to like let go of that stuff. Funny story about that though is like my wife was at a rummage sale in our old neighborhood and found paintings that had been taken out of the dumpster and then brought to somebody's garage sale for resale, which was like just she was like, where did you get this painting, you know, to them? And they're like, oh, it was actually in this dumpster. And so like maybe all of it found a home. I don't know.
How do you feel about that? Because I think it'd be kind of cool.
I thought it was cool. That's what I.
But I'd also be like, well, fuck you. You're trying to sell my stuff. You know, like
no,
you throw that away right now.
Go both ways on it.
It was the IRL example of 01 transit. You know, throwing it on the market for free, and somebody takes it. They try to go and sell it for free, sell it for a little bit more. But no, I thought it was super cool that someone was walking by and didn't think it was trash. You know, that feels good.
And then like did they at least have it like hung up in their house for a little while? Like was it like a year or two later, or was it like the next week?
Yeah. No, it was like later.
So they definitely had it for a while and like, you know, displayed it.
That
probably.
is neat.
Yeah. Maybe that was like their art collection journey, and then they like got addicted and were like, I need more art in my house. This one's got to go.
That's totally cool if you know that they at least displayed it for a while. And like,
it would,
you know.
If they sold it too, I did not get any royalty payment.
That's the old.
Sure.
That's the old school way of art.
Right?
Yeah, traditional art.
So do you have a lot of traditional collectors?
Yeah. Not like, I mean, nobody's spending like huge amounts of money or like notable collectors, but yeah, lots of people that you know, especially around the holiday season, like I need more. Let's, one of my, it's funny, there was back to like the show posters, like like in college I did like a show poster for this girl who was doing like pro-life or pro-choice benefit shows, you know, kind of a women's rights activist in Winona, and she had me like, I volunteered some like graphic design work, show poster stuff for her, like t-shirt stuff, and she ultimately like became like one of my best collectors after that, and right now lives like 4 blocks away from me and has like a house with like 40 works of Katsuichi, and it's just insane. I feel a little weird about it sometimes when I like walk through it. It's like, wow, she's been following my journey the whole entire time. You know, like she probably has pieces before I started selling them, or before I started my everyday streak, like 20-year-old stuff.
So how do you mostly sell your physicals? Are you out at like farmers markets, or like do you have a gallery? I mean, obviously you have some on the website, but
yeah, I have some on the website, and then like, you know, it's really if there's like an IRL show in town, like a group show, I don't have a gallery space, or like a, you know, studio space. That would be ideal to have, you know, that at least like once a month foot traffic. A lot of those like shared gallery kind of situations have, but you know, with like my work life balance stuff, I don't have time to like get to another studio at night and kind of worry about that stuff. So I just like hop on group shows. I do a lot of like that VR venue I was talking about earlier has like sort of people that are blurring that like tech and
what's
art.
the name of that again?
That's REM 5. REM5 in St. Louis Park.
Spelled out FIVE.
Nope. The number.
Okay, and that's a VR gallery.
They have these like they call them ESC art events, where it's kind of like anybody that's like working in emerging tech comes, and like you can be a part of these shows. They'll bring like 20 different artists in. So I've been hopping on a lot of shows there, and I'll bring like physical paintings in to that space, and then maybe get some luck there.
So how am I accessing that? Rim5.com? Like
and this you'll kind of see it's like really, it's gonna be like rem5vr rem5vr.com, but it's gonna look like it's like a kids arcade and like other like educational things. Like they run 100 different.
But if I'm in my my headset, then it's gonna be different, right?
No, I'm sorry. This was a in real life space that does VR stuff.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I might have been shopping and might have missed part of that conversation earlier. So,
yeah, no problem. Yep.
And for anybody new coming in, I want to make sure that we get some details out there.
I keep hitting this random button. This random button on the website is absolutely brilliant for our YouTube channel. It's so easy for me to remember to click random, and there's something new.
Wouldn't it be even easier if it was just automatically set for like a set interval, like a minute to 90 seconds?
That's right. Very true enough. Willie always looking for the easy way.
I'm always putting the ideas out there.
Yeah, no, fair enough. It is a good idea. 100%. I don't disagree with it.
Especially if you put an object link on the ones that like are on object or whatever, or an ETH link or whatever. Then you just be like, oh, that one's for sale. Oh, just pick that up.
Pick that up. I
do. You just reminded me too. It's another interesting aspect of my work we should talk about is like a metaverse VR stuff I'm into. The VR company in St. Louis Park I work with has a metaverse platform called Simulacra, and I was kind of like I made their headquarters on it, but I also made a gallery for myself where it just features mainly my VR paintings. What's the best way for me to share this link with you?
Put it in a tweet and put it up at the top, maybe, or put it in a tweet down at the bottom in the thread.
Just tweet. None of this is real. Cats will eat you. Metaverse.
Oh yeah. Go there.
I'm going there.
And the password is none.
As in nothing, none, not NUN. Yeah, I saw it there. I'm making a joke.
Yeah,
bad joke.
NONE. Well, I've got some none art back in.
This one, yeah, right here on your link tree.
Yeah.
Big banner, your link tree there. That one, okay.
Yeah.
It says the password is none.
It's loading.
For those in the.
Yeah, it'll take a minute to get in, but
crash my computer.
Mobile isn't supported yet.
Oh dang!
I'm sitting in front of it right now. I got it coming up on my computer.
If only I could watch the YouTube as well.
Right.
Then I could just watch you go through it.
I'm mucking around. We'll see. It's still loading.
But
talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, so I worked with them. They're kind of. I would say that their metaverse focus is not Web3 at their core. They kind of want to use it for like educational or retail kind of clients is what their main focus is. So
really just about building different experiences. And then I was just doing like the freelance work for them, and in trade they like helped me build out this little gallery. Because I can't do any of the programming, but it's actually like, in my experience on metaverses like Decentraland and crypto voxels and stuff, this one was like super smooth, easy to use, and works pretty fun for like having events in here and stuff. And it's a cool gallery.
I don't think I'm going to be able. I don't think I'm going to be able to jump into it. I don't think my Mac likes running OBS Studio and then firing this up in the browser. Just
oh yeah, if you're doing OBS Studio,
yeah,
you're gonna get that's gonna all fucking
yeah. The thing that made me like, it was still sitting here loading, and then I just took my headphones off for a second, and I can hear my Mac fan running, and like I don't know if I've ever heard the fan running in my Mac before. Like it's on high speed. I'm like, whoa, what's that? Okay, so I shut that down. We'll let the Mac melt down. I'll check it out after. We'll all check it after. Actually, yeah, Willie, could you put that link in a tweet? And yes.
I don't know, because it won't even let me open it on my phone. So
I'll do that in a minute.
I don't know, but if you just hit his link tree right there in his profile, it's the big like banner in the middle that he's talking about, and it says access code equals none right there too. So
all the folks can follow along.
For anybody listening down there.
Block came back up as a speaker and got his hand up so politely. How you doing, sir?
Oh, hey, pretty good. How's the gang? How are y'all?
Woo!
What's up?
This
Doing
is
good, man.
Pretty fucking awesome interview. I actually totally dig it. One of those interviews where I get to relate to all these things, and I'm like, holy shit. Now, like, of all things that I relate to, right? Oh, man, this is fucking awesome. What's this about a horse community? Because, like, I like horses. I like to make artwork with horses. And I forgot what I was talking about. And I was like, am I talking about the metaverse, Tesla? Like, what? Oh, shit, I'm talking about horses. That's why I only came up here to ask about the horse community and to give you some props on everything that you're doing, because like that's pioneering, right? Like you're in your own league, and that's fucking amazing, So I want to tip my hat to you, and everything. And thanks. Yeah, if anybody could just DM me about the horse community, that'll be amazing.
I'm gonna add you to the group chat right now. All right.
All right, y'all have a
so
great.
I just added you to the group chat. And if you I think it's maybe hashtag horse trading, search hashtag horse trading on Twitter, and you'll find some of the old stuff. But yeah, it's just like, it's a trade only, no sales kind of deal. Create a piece and trade with others, but we kind of do it. Not we. I mean, I guess I'm part of it. So, but I'm not like, I didn't create it. So. They kind of do it like in like sections, I guess. So for like 2 weeks at a time.
You gotta be like a feral horse, right? And then you get like put on a ranch somewhere. I get it.
Yeah, and then because I hit the first session really hard with some trades, and then everybody that I traded with, still threw horses at me in the second session, even though I was completely out of it, didn't have anything to give back. So that's just a testament to the Tez community.
My very first mint ever was a horse, for horse trading.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff. I'm a stud, by the way. Horse. No, just kidding.
Well, thanks for your kind words, Meatblock. You always crack me up on a daily basis too on Twitter. Our interactions are hysterical. Good to see you.
We're totally blessed to have him pop in here and hang out with us on so many occasions, and we've actually featured him as an artist as well.
Oh, cool!
Yeah, I think we did, or am I just imagining that? No, we did. Yeah, we did. I'm just thinking.
No, we totally did.
Yeah. Okay.
No, we totally did.
I was just getting to the point there. I'm like, am I just thinking that because he's been here so many times? But yeah, no, we actually did.
No.
Yeah, that's right. Good stuff. We're very fortunate in this space to have met the people that we do meet and the folks that keep coming back. I mean, you just look around this room right now. I mean, it's gotten a little thin in the half hour, but damn, there's some great people. Got Jen down there, Quantum Spirit, Juliet Haas, great photographer. Jay is a master Discord operator. So if anybody's got any Discord issues and you need somebody to run that shit for you, straighten it out, you hit Jay up in your DMs. He'll lay it out. Then there's Malicious Sheep. I can't even. What do you even say about Mal? Like everything.
Yeah, where do you start?
Right.
Where do you start with Mal? Yeah, I don't know. She's
not
so great in so many different ways.
Not with coding or programming though.
That's the only place you'd say. Yeah, you just say everything but coding and programming now.
That's right. Everything
for now.
Everything. Yeah, cool.
She'll get there though, one of these days.
And now we can add Cats Will Eat You to our list of amazing folks that we've got to touch base with.
So one of the things that we haven't touched on is how long have you been using the name Cats Will Eat You?
Okay, yeah, that's probably about 20 years. So in college, I was in. This isn't it's kind of a funny story, but I was in graphic design class, and our instructor was the most hated guy in the art department, right? Like nobody liked the graphic design instructor, and the school only had one, so that was Rodney, and he was telling us that he had seen an Animal Planet show where they talked about how cats will eat their owners if the owner dies alone and the cat has nothing left to eat. It will eventually eat the owner if nobody finds the body.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And this teacher lived alone with his two cats, and I thought that was the funniest shit I had ever heard. And I started laughing and I fell out of my chair, and then an hour later I bought the URL catswilleeatyou.com. I was like, that's it. And then I started, on whenever I would sign up for a message board or something, that would be my online handle I took. But it was really
being that early in it, were you seeking, not necessarily seeking, but anytime you heard about any kind of new platform like Instagram, because Instagram wasn't out 20 years ago, right? It's not 20 years old.
Right.
So were you like, oh, I got to get on there and get my name?
No, not really. And on Instagram, someone else snagged that one. And they have not been active for 20 years, and I can't get it. I can't get the account from Instagram. They make me do an underscore, but it's pretty much mine everywhere. And I do try to grab it now.
Now you think about it, right?
Well, and I love experimenting with new social media platforms. When I heard about TikTok, I signed up right away because I was like, this is, this could be the next big thing. So I think, yeah.
It still might be too. That TikTok thing might take off one of these days.
Yeah, it might. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, if your social credit's good enough,
right?
Who has TikTok? Who here has TikTok? Everybody raise your hands.
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah. I specifically do not.
Yeah.
Oh dang, you're missing out.
I like to sell my information to American companies. Apple and Google. X.
I just give it away. Give it away to all.
Just give it away. They're gonna get it anyways, right?
Yeah. My uncle works for the government here, and he's not allowed to have it. What I do with TikTok though is I put it on my phone, and I'll have it on my phone for 2 weeks, and then I get rid of it. And it's not because I'm worried about whatever, collections of information or whatever. It's because I spend too much effing time on it.
Yeah, it can be a real time suck for sure.
Right? Because it's just so easy to sit there and go flip, 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 flip. It's endless. It's horrible. Horrible.
My VR videos kill it on there though, so I got to keep playing that game.
Yeah, well, that's different. I mean, if I was a content creator, I would definitely have to be there in my yoga pants and drinking out of my Stanley. Totally.
So you said you've been doing daily art longer than Beeple, which obviously he's the name because of
Yeah.
a single sale. So like, has it done anything other than just like display your art and like kind of like show the world your art, that kind of thing? Like, has doing a daily art for 17 years, has it done anything? Has it gotten you anywhere, like other than like the experience gained?
Made him a damn fine artist.
Yeah,
like,
other than that, like
it's like I would say like there's been some moments that are like financially beneficial for sure, but not like on a scale where I could quit my job. So it's like I used to work for the football team too, and I was doing 10 games a year over there, and then art like has afforded me to quit that, so I no longer need that extra side gig.
Is that just because you don't like the Vikings?
Between you and me, yeah. No.
Whoa, this is a recorded space. Whoa.
Oh shit. No. It was just like another 10 days or Sundays away from my family, and it's like I already lose a lot of time from like a baseball season, so it's like it's a lot. And if I could get that time back by selling my art, which I'm making anyways, yeah, absolutely.
I imagine the 10 days don't pay as well as the 180 days of baseball, right?
Right. Well, yeah, they paid. No, I would say too. They paid me very well to do that gig too, but like art has offset it. So that's
I'm just thinking like if you could just work like the 10 days as opposed to the 180 days of baseball.
Yeah.
Like if they were paying about the same,
right.
Take the 10 days, but
yeah,
I'm guessing the pay was not adequate.
Yeah, I was like just on for like a freelance role, like just game day.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. So I wasn't really doing, creative all week long for them. But then I would say like other like, like I also like have a few short films that I've finished because of this, and like those films have done well, like as far as like getting in film fests around the world, and being seen in places that I can't even afford to travel to. And so that's that's just cool, like that my work is getting out there. And then like obviously like digital exhibitions all around the world, and it provides huge, in some ways there's been a ton of success from it, just because I'm doing it every day, and I get so much better at doing it. Like I look at work like 5 years ago and I just can barely stand it, like, but it's cool to see it's cool to like look back and see the journey and how I got here too. But yeah, I would say like you'll hear people say that like, well, it's because I did it every day forever, and like there's that won't necessarily mean you get $69 million if you do that.
Right. I mean, there's obviously something to showing up every day, right? Like that's why we've been here for coming up on 2 years every week. It'd be hard to do 3 hours every day, but because when we first started, we were just like, well, if we just show up, eventually people should show up. We think.
Right. Yeah. And it's totally
worked out. So it's working out, I guess.
Yeah, I would say on a lot of platforms too, I'm seeing like continual like uptick in new people discovering me and coming along. Like it's just like it's still like the early stage of it, and then like, but eventually you push the snowball down the hill and it grows bigger.
I'm still pushing it up the hill.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that all makes sense. Like I said, I'm more kind of asking the question of like has there been any like notoriety from the street numbers themselves? You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like is there a world record for that or something? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I'm running the world record of that. As far as I know, I've definitely made a large effort to like seek out other everyday artists to see who has it going the longest. And like I talked to, you guys are probably familiar with Song a Day, Jonathan Mann, and his project. He just passed 16 years of doing a song every day, and like he's in the Guinness Book for World Records. You know, it definitely like worked out for him. He lost a ton of money after making a ton of money, but you know he's still making it work with his.
Do you have a Guinness record?
No, I don't.
Are you in a Guinness book?
No. I'm gonna do it. I have.
All you got to do is write them, right, and just like tell them.
No,
it costs money.
Like,
it costs money.
What's the
it's like
process
hard
there?
Yeah, and Jonathan's done that. He's kind of helping me with it. But yeah, it's you know he's basically saying like, here's what the kind of spreadsheet they're gonna want for you to prove it, you know, and but yeah, he was able to get them to come and stuff. But he said from his perspective that being in the Guinness Book of World Records didn't change a thing for him, like financially or like you know got him more attention at all. It was like a blip for a day, and then it's kind of like, but it's cool as fuck, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things you grow up as a kid, and you're like, you know, especially you know, 80s, 90s kids who had Guinness books. You know, you're looking through, going, what can I do? There's got to be one of these I can beat in here, right?
Yeah.
Like I want to be in here.
My kids have like the new one, and they're like cool. The books are done cooler than they were when we were kids, too. Like they're better now. There's like pictures of the coolest stuff, but you know, and my kids look at that all the time. And they're like, Dad, you got to do this. You got to get in here.
I think the last one I saw was from like 2009. But like, like the ones I remember as a kid were more like a Beckett trading card, like baseball card book, where it was like list after list of like every record in
every
there.
record.
And now it's more like
highlights.
It's more visual. It's highlights. It's like a magazine, which is cool. It's great, but it doesn't show every record as a kid where you can be like, oh wait, what about this? I can beat that.
Yeah, for sure. But you know, it was funny too. I would say like when my first kid was born, so this is 11 years ago. I was in the hospital and I was thinking like, how am I going to keep this everyday art thing going? It's going to be too much being a new dad. And I started Googling while I was sitting there in the hospital, like, you know, who's got the longest art streak? I just found, and it was in that process where I found people, and I was like, oh, and he wasn't famous at the time. He was like definitely like rising in popularity though on like social media sites, like nowhere near like millions of followers that he has now, but it was like, you know, 10,000 people following this guy already. And I look back, you know, and I was like, oh shit, he's from Wisconsin too. He's like about my age. And I was like, when did he start? And I like looked back and I was like, oh fuck yeah, I'm still ahead of this guy. And I was just barely ahead to like 6 months, you know, that I decided to start it. But I was totally unaware. Like at that time, like I like reached out to him too, just because I was like, hey dude, this is really cool to find you. And like, but I never heard anything back. He's never acknowledged that I got him beat, and he's never like responded to any requests.
Did you tell him that you had him beat at the time you reached out to him?
Hell yeah, I did.
All right, yeah. I mean, you know, I don't know the guy.
Yeah,
I like your work a lot better, but you know, that just seems right to me. That he wouldn't respond to you. He just seems like he's fearful and just like clinging on for dear life of everything he's got right now. I don't know.
Who knows? I mean, he'd always.
I'm being
still,
an
like,
asshole about it too. So
yeah.
He's probably trying to figure out how to get more days in. I gotta work really hard so I can get more days and make sure I stay ahead of that cats will eat you guy.
Yeah.
I mean, now if he hit our DMs and was like, "Hey, I want to do your show," I'd be like, "Oh, fuck yeah!"
Right.
I'll find something to talk about.
He was like he came to Minneapolis for like V Fest, and like I had people talking to him and trying to get him to like come and like create his everyday where I was gonna create the same day, and like we were like posing it like, hey, it'll be a battle and the crowd's gonna vote for which one's the best. And he was kind of like interested in it, and then last minute no show. So
But he didn't respond to you about that, or
no, he was talking to the people that were running the venue.
Gotcha. Okay.
I didn't get to talk. They met him, and
So is that kind of like what keeps you going at this point?
that was, I would say that back then, that was my reason. I was like, I see that this is working for this guy, like he's got this big gang of 3D bros that are all making killer art, doing this everyday thing, and he's getting better at it. He's getting, more recognition for his work. And I was like, clearly the same thing is happening to me. I'm just in a different spot right now. So it's like, I got to keep going, and I got it, especially if I'm in first place with this. I'm really determined not to lose that,
And being on our space helps too. I'm sure of it. Like this'll engrave it in stone and make it all right.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
If he were to stop, would you stop, or is just the aspect of continually learning every day and all that, like, and now it's massive habit after 17 years, right?
Yeah, and it's an absolute joy. Like, I love doing it. Like, it's not a pain. Like, I've heard other people, like Jonathan, some song a day guy, sometimes is like, I don't want to make my song today, and that'll be his song. Like, I never feel that. Like, other than like the super hard, like super sick days or something, it's always a pleasure to like sit and make something. And then I even thought, like, what if I was in a car accident and I missed the day for that? What would I do? I think I would just like, okay, I missed the day. I'm just gonna keep doing it. Anyways.
Just draw a note that says, I was in a car accident. This is my drawing for the day.
Yeah, try to like post it from my phone as I'm bleeding to death.
Sketch a tiny car or something.
Well, it would take a long time for somebody to surpass you that one day, right? I mean, it would take, so for sure. That's a beautiful thing. It's a hell of a thing.
I think it's super cool.
I mean, it's one thing. It's one thing for me to like, when I look at it and see that you've been doing it, like I look on your Twitter, it's like, wow, that's wild, that's wild. But to hear you talk about it, it's like, wow, this dude really does it. And fuck, like who else, to have that much dedication to be able to do that, I get it. I mean, the only other people that have this kind of dedication are addicts, but that's because, it's the drug that's making them do it. I guess this is kind of like a drug to you, though, right? You get a little bit of an endorphin kick over it. Out of it, you like.
Yeah, I love it. It's kind of grounds me and gives me, a purpose. It's so great.
Yeah, you come out, and after doing some big jumbotron stuff, it brings you back down to earth, going, yeah. I did one piece of art.
Well, and I'm thinking about 5,000 Space Aliens, who we talked to a couple weeks ago, and he didn't do his every day. I mean, he drew 5,000 aliens, right?
Yeah.
But he didn't do them every day. He drew several a day.
Yeah.
And even still, that's not 17 years, because 17 years is 6,200 plus.
Yes.
Right. And like if it was like a quantity game, I could just like rip out 1,000 stick figures tonight.
Yeah,
instead of
yeah,
all
yeah.
separate. Like
No, I wasn't
Do
really
it.
thinking of it as a quantity. I was just like, I was
Right,
just kind of
right.
thinking about.
It sounds like
that,
it sounds like a challenge. I think you should do it anyway.
Yeah, and then make it a single gift, and then that's tonight's or tomorrow's, I guess. There's
Right.
a thousand stick figures.
I don't think maybe 1,000 is a little too much.
Okay, 500 and 500.
500 coming right up.
You do 500 tomorrow, the 500 the next day. One day is bits, one day is meat. I like tossing out ideas.
I don't think I'm.
If you like it, you like it. Whatever.
I don't think I'm ready to be a stick figure. That's a lot of
You're not
responsibility.
ready to be a stick figure?
No, it's a lot of responsibility, man. Being a stick figure. Fuck yeah. Because you have to really. Because when you're a stick figure, man, like you have to get an idea across with nothing, right? Like, I mean, you gotta have emotion there. It's tough. I'm not that. Anyways.
So, that's a good. That brings me to a good question. Did you doodle a bunch of like flip books in school as a kid?
Yeah. Yes. Ours were me and a buddy like regularly kind of did like pass the picture flip books almost. We would like draw a little and then add to each other's in the corner of the notebook. And ours were it was stick figure war essentially. Like one would shoot an arrow at the other stick figure or like blow his head off with a bazooka. They were just little
awesome.
little war scenes. Totally terrible, obviously.
Do you still have any of those like stashed away in a drawer somewhere? Or?
There's a chance, but probably not.
I'm just thinking about you. You said at the beginning about you like artist sketchbooks and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's something that I ask for a lot of everybody we talk to. If they say they have sketchbooks, I'm like, I want to see it. At least just a picture or whatever. Like I just want to because that's something I love to do. I love seeing the sketches and like doodles and just kind of the background. I like the finished work too, obviously, but there's something about seeing that kind of raw thought process to me that is just so cool.
Yeah. I have and I do have like dozens of like full sketchbooks that pretty cool to look through that stuff. But I definitely don't think I have the like childhood sketchbook stuff. I've probably got like 10 or 11 drawings from like high school era, but that's about it. Even though I made gobs of work then, but there was an age I hit where I just like threw it all away. I was like, this all sucks.
Yeah. Do you still sketch on pencil and paper, pen and paper, whatever, before you do some of your digital stuff?
No, not usually. I would usually like have it just go straight into. I don't usually start on pen, like unless I'm like in a work meeting, and it's like, oh, I need to remember this. But
you don't. That's not like part of your process, like a normal process, unless it just like hit you on the spot.
No, not typically. I pretty much I don't know like right now I still have to stay up and draw something tonight, and I haven't thought about like what medium I'm gonna use, and then ultimately I'll probably like pick that and then just start from scratch and just and hopefully in a couple hours I'm done.
Gotcha.
See where.
So you don't other than I don't remember, I can't say the name of it. The spinny disky guys.
Phenakistoscope.
Other than those, which you said you start digital and then kind of go to hand.
Yeah. Yep.
And then come back. Other than that, you don't mix mediums a whole lot?
No, not. It's usually. Well, God, I shouldn't say that because like some of like my acrylic paintings have like an augmented reality layer to them. So there's mixed mediums that way.
Yeah, true.
But I don't.
I guess I
don't,
wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah, I don't really like import drawings and then like play with them digitally. Like I would pretty much start with a digital drawing.
Okay.
I would draw it on my iPad probably if I'm gonna end up working digitally. Anyways, but yeah, like I guess when I get into architecture stuff, like designing metaverse spaces, that's probably where I would pull out a notebook. It's. I'm just gonna have contradictory answers, I guess.
No. I mean, like I said, I'm just trying to like get a feel for how you do stuff and how you work and just, I'm just curious about that kind of stuff. So
yeah, most of it.
It's not like we're gonna hold you to it, like, oh, you said you don't do this and you're doing it. You know what I mean?
And most of it's like very spontaneous and improvised, but then I'll typically have a larger project that is very like intentional and thought out and kind of like storybooked or like very more involved that I'm just chipping away at. But I've always felt like my best work is that sort of when I'm just totally free and no plan and just improvising.
Yeah, for sure. I love it, man. I just, like I said, I'm just in awe of your portfolio and the amount of work, and like it's all great, because I love the sketches. So even though somebody might be scrolling through the dailies and be like, "Oh, it's a little stick figure," okay, I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I like." And then you see 3 or 4 of those in a row before you see like a finished product. They're like, I love all that. So
cool.
I'm really glad that Paul introduced us to you, and you're able to come on and chat with us. It's been a great night.
Yeah, you hate that. Don't you hate that when you're talking and your microphone's muted? and Willie's dying. I think with what Willie just said there, I think it's probably a pretty natural place where we can probably maybe start bringing the train back into the station. I mean, especially considering that we're holding up art right now. We are creating art right now, but we're kind of holding up art right now.
Yeah, Lily did come up. I want to see if she has any questions, because she's always got some good stuff. Bindle might have a question or two, but yeah, we should definitely start wrapping it up here soon.
Oh, is Lily back?
Yeah, Lily's back.
Hi,
I
Lily.
got a phone call. I got up here just as I got up here to ask a brilliant question, I'm sure.
Oh.
Totally brilliant question I had. I got a phone call, and I got on the phone with the person, couldn't part with it, the conversation. It was such an exciting conversation. Got back over here, completely forgot my brilliant question, but just enjoying listening to this portion of the show. So just hanging out with you guys at the moment. And if I think of a question, I'll let you know. But I honestly forgot what I was going to ask.
Well, Lily, what I've learned, Lily, is yes, you do have brilliant questions, but if you have forgotten it, it's usually because we've answered it or we've asked it also. That's usually
very
the case.
True.
So.
It could have possibly happened that way as well. So either way, I'm enjoying the conversation. Glad to be here and get to know a little bit more about the Cats Will Eat You. I do have some of your art. I own some of your art on Tezos, as well as on I got it on the 01, but I've put it up
awesome.
now. I've got it listed on Campfire. So good luck to both of us.
Thank you.
Findle, you got a question?
I just wanted to say, like, what a fabulous program, and Cats Will Eat You. Super nice meeting you, and you are just truly an inspiration, for just how much art you've created, and that's just an inspiration for all of us. So congratulations, and looking forward to seeing your work. More of
Thank
your
you
work.
so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, have a great night. And thanks again, you guys. Always a great space.
Thanks, Findle. Always good to have you, man.
Always good to have Fendel in the room. Our honorary Canadian.
So, I mean, obviously your daily art is up on your website, which is catsweetu.com, right? I think you said.
Yep.
I mean, I found it through the link in your link tree in your bio, but could you put that in like an RSS feed? Not necessarily you, but like.
Yeah.
Or do you just or is it better just keep the website open and refresh it every day?
Yeah, you can just visit it every day.
It's good for the it's good for the numbers that way.
There is a the guy that helps me with it set up an RSS just for himself because he wanted to just get it that way in his own phone. He was kind of geeked out about that. I don't personally.
I think
follow
that
any
just
RSS
if the link's there, that'd be a cool way to get it. Just kind of see it in a feed every day.
Yeah.
Hells yeah.
Yeah, I always wanted like a frame in people's house, like eventually.
That's what I'm thinking.
It's just every day you wake up and you see the new thing.
See, or if the random button didn't need a click, you could just throw it up on a Raspberry Pi,
right?
Connect it to anything in your house that's got an HDMI cable, and there you go. You throw it on a TV during the day or whatever.
Yeah.
Not a space goes by where we don't try to get our Raspberry Pis involved with showing artwork. Right, Willie? It's fact.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna have to learn how to code Raspberry Pi.
Yeah,
I got a couple ideas.
Raspberry Pi, isn't it Python? Isn't that what they use to code on Pis?
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was all Linux. I thought it was all like Linux OS. I don't know.
Kind of that stuff thing. I don't know. Cool. Alrighty. Well, folks, I think we can call her a night tonight. I think this has been an amazingly successful.
I mean, we could probably do another hour on short movies and things like that you mentioned.
Well, we got to get back. I was thinking about getting back into the ska music here too, but
yeah,
we can we never need to bring up the ska music again.
Okay.
Be fine with that.
All right, fair enough then. Fair enough.
Okay.
Appreciate you very much.
Films apparently is a topic.
Yeah. Let's talk about those.
Well, the next time, next
maybe
round.
Another day then.
I agree because
it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for talking with me.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah, this is
listening to my thick Midwestern accent for hours.
It's all right. You put up with my Canadian. It's all good. No worries. I've been dumbing it down though now, hanging out with all you Americans.
You still say process, so that's fun.
And at the beginning of the space, I said Z, not Z. Right?
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Oh yeah, I did. Like we almost got kicked off of Twitter for that.
For you not saying Z.
That's right. And it's getting fucking cold up here, man. So by the end of the week, we're going to be about minus 40 Fahrenheit. We're going to be 40 and 40. Because I think minus 40 Celsius is minus 40 Fahrenheit, I think. I could be wrong, but yeah. So I'm going to go throw some wood on the fire. Yeah, thanks very much, Matt. Really appreciate you very much. I'm really happy that Paul got us in touch with you because this has been an amazing ride tonight. Like when we take the night train out, we have a great time. And then there's those spaces that just, they're just a little bit higher than the others. And this one's definitely got a spot in my heart for sure, dude. You've shared so much with us and just opened my eyes even bigger too.
Yeah, such a great way to start the year.
Yeah. Yeah,
Really setting the bar high.
first artist of the year.
Oh, thank
But
you.
we
Thank
do have TJ Hinos next week, and Mikey Wilson the week after that. So we're getting lined up for the year.
That's right. You can join us
I
here.
think I was.
What's up?
I was gonna say I think I was his first collector. Very first collector, I believe I was.
Who's? Matt's? Matt Here's?
No, the other one, TJ.
TJ Hinos?
Hinos?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
I'll have to go back and look, but it seems familiar. Seems like it's true. I'll find out.
I was thinking too, maybe 2024 is the year to have the oh so famous Lily White on. I hear Lily White's quite the artist.
Well, you might be able to book her. You never know.
I know, right?
I mean, if we can get her in between phone calls and naps.
Right?
I know. Can I say I played enough to be interviewed by the Night Train? I'm doing a little better now. I got my computer set up, and Mike's here helping out, so that helps a lot. And I don't know how long that's gonna last, but yeah. So yeah, have a little more energy these days. But yeah, I can't promise I won't fall asleep by
That's all
well,
right.
we always appreciate
11:30.
you, and we always appreciate you either way, Lily.
Yep, absolutely. Alrighty,
I always
folks.
sleep best on those nights, though. So it's a win-win for me.
That's good. Maybe we have an ASMR kind of thing in our future too. I don't know. Possibly. I don't know.
That's what we need to just start adding to the YouTube channels, ASMR.
Right? Just so we get the hits.
Yeah, never know.
Yeah, well,
hits.
There's some weird I ran into ASMR the other day that was yeah, just like that. Except it was a woman feeding her dog different things. I was like, I hear that in my house, and I don't want to fucking listen to it. So no.
Can I share one more thing with you guys?
Sure.
Because I know I'm gonna forget by the next time we meet.
Yeah.
I was out with my the guy that I take care of, and he had to look at an office, and it was a teeny tiny little office, and he said to me, "Well, this isn't big enough to cuss out a cat without getting fur in your face." I just loved it. I just thought that was so cute.
That's just one of those. That's one of those old guyisms, that right? Nobody else can say that. A 19-year-old couldn't say that. It wouldn't be right. That's awesome.
I don't know if it's right or not, but I thought it was funny.
Well, no. I just meant that it just wouldn't seem right. Like, it's got to be an old guyism. It's got to be coming, because people that have lived the lives have those amazing one-liners. Young folks don't. Anyways, I liked it. Cuss out a cat without getting fur in your mouth. Folks, we are out of here. The night train's pulling back into the station. We've had a really good show. Thank you very much, everybody, for popping in tonight. Lily White, Fendel, Karen down there, Juliet Haas, Malicious Sheep, Jay, Meat Block, Erden, Sister Sage Herbs, Bodhi's Eye, I believe is how you say that as well. Thank you for being in here, and to all those people that aren't who fell asleep halfway through the show. Thanks for everybody coming
Pop
in.
Lazarus for giving away a Greg.
Absolutely.
With us.
And that's pinned up at the top if you want any more information about that. And next week, Pop will be back with us at the beginning of the show to do the wheel spins for the free ones, if anybody decides to burn their Gregs, and also to decide who's going to be able to pay for them too. It's just interesting. Spin a wheel to see who's going to be able to buy.
Yeah, he doesn't. I mean, he doesn't mint a lot, and
nope.
And when he does, it usually goes to his previous collectors for the most part.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to get in on a newer piece, that may be the way to do it. So.
Hells yeah. And we are working on our co-minting projects with some artists, and Willie's going to get some final numbers crunched down, and we're going to start doing that pretty soon. But one thing you can definitely count on for sure, 100%, is that next week we'll be back here at 9 p.m. Eastern, jumping on this train, interviewing TJ Hinos, and we would love to have you come and visit us. Don't forget, we're up on YouTube. You can see a lot of our past episodes up there. They are all they're there are, I almost said they are all up there, but I know they're not. Malicious Sheep is up there now as of yesterday, I do believe. And she opened my eyes to the fact of that I need to get back on there and upload the missing shows that aren't up there. But there's a good 50 of these spaces up there. So if you want to go check out the archives, do that. Even if you don't listen to an episode, if you don't mind giving us a subscribe, that would really be great as well. And we're out of here. I'm going to play us out. Willie, thanks for being here. Had a great night. Cats will eat you. Matt, thank you very, very much for giving us your time. Very appreciated, sir. And we'll see you all next week. Good night.